Where are the low-value men?
The hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site. You can believe that. You can believe that. You can believe that.
Contracted COVID, but says with a mixture of medicines, including the controversial horse dewormer that has poisoned hundreds of people nationwide, he's now recovered.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
From the headlines to the whisper star, low value mail, low value mail at 9 o'clock. We're truth fiction, take a walk.
Why don't you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon? You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
Our stories are.
Hot damn, everybody. Welcome back to an all-new episode of Low Value Mail. On this Tuesday, January 21st, 2025, the year of our Lord, I am absolutely jacked up on cough meds right now. Let me tell you. So I think some of you are probably like, what's going on right now? I thought it was supposed to be the bathhouse tonight. Well, Tuesday was, I forgot that Tuesday was the original low value mail day. Tuesday being the most low value day of the week. That's a statistic. That's a known statistic. I've been down and out with a little chest infection for the last 3 or 4 days. Had a little fever. A lot of just waking up in the middle of the night, absolutely soaking wet, covered in sweat. So anyways, I figured I probably shouldn't do the bathhouse tonight, just, with 3 other comics sitting within inches of me, and I'm just, yelling in all their faces and stuff. So considering we didn't have a low value mail last night, we're doing it tonight. I will do my best to not cough too much. I don't know. I did comedy on Saturday night when I was I felt like a little sick, but I wasn't super sick, but I had a spot. And then, by the end of my set, my voice was like completely hoarse. I could barely speak after and this was 15 minutes. So I'm going to do my best tonight. Should be good. I've been taking all sorts of stuff, drinking tea. I guess you could call me a bit of a tea boy. Can't you? Feel free to use that one. But I'll do my best, and I got the mute button handy in case I got to just absolutely hack up a lung. I hope I don't need to do that. But welcome back, everybody. We were supposed to have Jay Dyer, I'm sure many of you know from InfoWars, last night. We're not going to have a guest tonight. He's going to be joining us next Monday. Oh, I'm feeling the coughing already. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to try and limit that as much as possible. He's going to be joining us next Monday. We're just going to do open lines tonight. I'm going to try and do a full episode. If my voice just disappears, then we'll have to cut it short, but I'll do my best here. I think it's a good night to do open lines. I'm sure there's much you guys all want to talk about. I mean, there is so much that has happened since the last episode. Oh boy. Let's see. We got Trump coin, TikTok. It was here, it was gone, it's back now. Is it going? Is it the American government going to own it? Or at least a portion of it? We got all the executive orders, Biden pardons, Trump pardons. By the way, shout out to the libs, in this case the libertarians. Your boy Ross Ulbricht is officially free. Finally, you guys got a win. When was the last time you guys got a win, huh? When was the last time the libertarians got a win? It seems like it's been fucking ages. Jesus, I couldn't tell you the last time they put up a dub. I don't know. So, anyways, we're gonna open the phone lines in a little bit. After we get through some stuff. Before I go further, though, before we really get started, and again, I'm like loopy on cough meds right now. I've been double dosing them. Because that's what I figure, right? You go, if one dose of cough meds is good, then surely 2 doses of cough meds is better. I have been seeing some weird stuff in my periphery, though. Definitely, what is that thing where people are like, when they have sleep paralysis and they see that like Nightman guy? I feel like I've seen him a couple times. Like I feel like sometimes I look and I go, is that him? I don't know. So, you know, I literally might just snap to and just be like, I'm home in 3 hours and be like, did I do a show? I don't know. No idea. It'll be fun though. My loss, your gain. But before I go further, I want to thank everybody who joined the Patreon in the last week. It really does mean a lot. There was a lot of you who joined. The show means a lot to a lot of you. It means a lot to me. And I do want to thank you all, because my goal is not to end the show. My goal is actually to continue doing this show and the Bathhouse until at least 2028, when Kamala Harris becomes the next president and outlaws podcasts done by white men. Now, am I considered white? That's, again, I think we've done a poll on this. It's 50-50 down the middle, whether I think only half of you even consider me white. Half of you say I'm not white. I know that she would consider me white. Oh, excuse me. But so here's the deal. We're currently at 300 patrons, which is awesome. I announced this, I think, on YouTube and stuff, but just so people who are listeners of the show, viewers of the show, here's the deal. When I hit 500 patrons, so we're 200 away, I'm going to give one lucky subscriber 500 bones. $500 US cash. At 750 patrons, I'm going to give one of you $750 cash, and at 1,000 patrons, I'm going to give one of you $1,000 cash. Okay? And now, obviously, you're thinking, Danny, surely you can't do that. That's stupid. Why would you give away money? Because I want to, okay? I want to. It's fun. I like gambling. I'm sure some of you like gambling. And more importantly, you know, your $5, as much as it seems insignificant a month, it does help me grow the show, helps me get better guests, and you get a little lottery ticket, so everybody wins, right? And if you're on the fence about the Patreon, you can actually sign up for free on Patreon. You don't get anything. You don't get anything. I don't know why, but there's like 150 of you signed up on the Patreon for free. I don't know why, because you really get nothing for it. But courtesy of Patreon member TX Joe, I assume that's Texas Joe, he gifted me a bunch of free 1-month subscriptions. So I'm going to give one of you one of his 1-month subscriptions, but I'm going to increase them to 6 months. So if you want to win a 6-month Patreon subscription, just in the YouTube comments below, And this would be, I guess, after the fact, or you could do it now. I don't know if you can comment right now. But anyways, drop why you should win a 6-month Patreon sub. And whoever gets the most likes on their comment, they will win a 6-month Patreon subscription, courtesy of TX Joe and myself. And that gives you access to the little $500 lottery ticket. And I'll also give anybody who drops a super chat tonight, whether on Rumble or YouTube, one of you will also win a 6-month membership as well. Shout out to, we already got one. Logan Sorter joined the Patreon, keep the show alive. I think he's already on Patreon, but I could extend his Patreon. I don't know how it works. Okay. Anyways. And last week, actually, I said on last week's episode of The Bathhouse, because we don't have one this week, I said to give a 6-month subscription to someone with the most likes on the comic. That winner is Matt Newmy. Shout out to Matt Newmy, regular of the show. I don't know if I guess he's not on Patreon. Contact me, Twitter or Instagram. Just DM me, and I'm going to hook you up. All right, guys, we're so fucking back, man. I'm starting to sweat already, too. We're so back that I'm starting to sweat a little bit. It's probably my 101 fever right now. I don't know if it's 101. It was 101 last night. Then it got down to like 96. But it's been coming in waves. My body's fighting. My body's fighting for its life right now. And yet here I am doing low-value mail because I am a low-value man. Right? But it is, I will say, I don't know if we've been just so just misled and lied to for such a prolonged period of time. But it's truly incredible to just see a politician just make promises and then just do them, just follow through on them. It's honestly, you see that and you go, wow, they can do that? They can actually say they're going to do things and then do them? I don't know if I was, what the word is here, like disenfranchised or what, but I was kind of at the point where you're like, no, politicians, they just make promises. They can't actually do any of them. You're like, turns out they can. They kind of can. They just don't, or they haven't in the past, but they can. They just, there you go. Trump's just like, hey, I'm doing all this shit. And then he's just doing it. Oh, guys, I honestly feel, did you ever remember that movie, Tombstone? Like the Wyatt Earp kind of Val Kilmer movie. And there's the guy, because they all had like tuberculosis. And then there'd always be like that one guy who had tuberculosis and he'd just be like, cough into his handkerchief and it'd just be red with blood. I feel like there's a chance I'm going to be like this at the end of the show. I'm just going to be coughing in my blood-soaked handkerchief. But anyways, he just pardoned Ross Ulbricht, as mentioned earlier. This is like breaking in the last 2 hours. Said he was going to do it, and he just did it. He said he was going to pardon all the J6 people. He actually didn't pardon all of them. I think, because, some of them did do some crimes, and he commuted their sentences, so they technically it's still on the record. But he pardoned most of them. Said he was going to do it, and he just did it. Is it a bit of a fuck you to everybody who came after him for the last 4 years? Probably. But was Joe Biden pardoning his whole fucking family a fuck you? Seems like it too. Seems like everybody's just getting the birds flying right now. Right? So, Trump pardons a guy. And it's like Russ Ulbricht made a website. He got 2 life terms plus 40 years. He's been in jail for 10. Seems like, just for making a website that the government didn't like. Pardons him. It's great news. Can't wait to watch Russ Ulbricht on all sorts of podcasts. Maybe him and Daniel Penny will team up. That'll be can't miss podcasting right there if the two of them team up somehow. But again, Joe Biden pardoned his whole family, which is weird. I'm like, what crimes did half of these people I've never even fucking heard of. I was like, who are these people? What did they do? What did they do that they required pardons? Pardons Liz Cheney. Although Dick can still get her. Just don't go hunting with him. Pardons Liz Cheney. Again, what did she do? And I guess the, case would be, hey, she talked shit to Trump. Trump's going to weaponize the Department of Justice to come after her. Where have I heard that story before? Pardon Fauci. Pardon Anthony Fauci. Wow. I believe he pardoned Fauci from 2014 forward. And I go, that's weird. 2014. I only learned of Anthony Fauci in 2019 when the coronavirus started. Why does he need it backdated an extra 5 years? And again, if you have any comments, if you have any insight into anything I'm saying, phone lines will be open shortly. You can call in. Let's fucking hear it, okay? This was an interesting one because I had heard of this guy from musicians for a very long time. This guy, Leonard Peltier, commuted Leonard Peltier's sentence. So, and again, someone call in and tell me what I'm missing here on Leonard Peltier. I haven't done a lot of research. I've been reading about it a bit today. I've been watching some interviews. So, Rage Against the Machine, Rage for the Machine, as some people like to tongue-in-cheek call them these days. Big Dick Cheney supporters, right? They've been very vocal about this guy. They're actually chalking this up as a personal win. They go, we did this. And I remember a lot of musicians being like, in the 2000s, early 2000s, being like, free Leonard Peltier. That was a big deal. I never knew who he was. I always thought he was actually a black guy. And I always just assumed he was like a black guy who was wrongfully imprisoned. And it was just one of those, like a Hurricane Carter type deal, right? And we got the Pope, Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, all wanted this guy to be released from prison, okay? I looked him up. The guy killed 2 FBI agents while being wanted for attempted murder of an off-duty Milwaukee police officer. And then I started reading into it. Oh, excuse me. The guy changed his story like 50 times. Every time he's like, I wasn't there. Then he's like, I was there, but it wasn't my gun. Then it was like, it was my gun, but I didn't shoot it. And then it turned out that the bullets that were in the FBI agents only came from his gun. There's all these people who are like, he bragged about how he killed these FBI agents, all this stuff. And you're like, is this just the unluckiest guy of all time? Is that what it is? Was he the unluckiest person ever? Just every bad break known to man is just going against him? Like, it makes no sense. Why is everybody wanting to get this guy out of jail and making this guy like some crazy martyr? I know he was like some Indian, like native Indian activist dude. And his big cause was like justice for Wounded Knee or whatever, which was some, slaughter that happened in like the 1800s, which I guess in the 70s would have been, no, it still would have been the 80 years before. And, I get that he was in prison for 50 years and he's 80 years old now and he's probably not a threat, but I just don't get why this guy's a hero. Like, I was watching this video earlier, and in the 80s, he had the Russians, like, talking him up as this big political prisoner, which is like an instant red flag. Like, the Russians in the 80s? You want to talk shit about political prisoners? The Russians? I mean, like, the moment the Russians are calling out America for political prisoners, you're just like, that is fucking rich, okay? That is such a huge red flag when they're calling them out. You're like, I don't know. I don't get it. And then I watched an interview of this native woman from yesterday who lives in Canada who basically said Peltier was complicit in the murder of her mother and that he bragged to her mother and many other people about killing these FBI agents. Like, he seems almost like kind of like a George Floyd type where you're just like, yeah, this dude's like not a good dude. Now, obviously, George Floyd didn't murder any police officers. He did stick a gun into a pregnant woman's belly, but he didn't kill her. He did not kill her. But anyways, if you guys know anything about that, I'm sure someone does, call in. Let me know what I'm missing here. Like, are all these like is Mother Teresa just like a piece of shit? Like, is that what this is all just coming down to? Because I've heard all the other Mother Teresa stuff where you're like, yeah, she ended up like causing all these people to like starve and die and all this stuff. You're like, are these just like bad people who are just more concerned about their image and nothing else? And they're just like, they'll literally just deify some fucking twice cop killer? I don't get it. Don't get it. There's two genders again, guys. This is big news. This is really big news. If you don't identify as male or female, you can turn this off right now. I highly recommend just hit that pause button if you're neither male nor female. You're not going to like what you're about to hear. So, Trump he signed an executive order. He didn't just tweet this shit. This is the law of the land right now. There's only two genders. Two of them. Also, shout out to the Babylon Bee for literally stealing my number of genders chart and reposting it as their own. There's no honor in comedy anymore. I don't know what happened. There used to be some honor. Like people, like you would, like if you would steal, you know, like with the Mencia stuff, like unless you were just a complete sociopath, like you would feel bad about doing stuff like this. Now, people just, I don't even know the explanation for it, because how do you not know you're going to get caught? They posted my thing. I got tagged 50 fucking times in it. It's crazy. Crazy. Anyways, but there's two genders now. And it didn't have to be this way. I'll say this. If you're some person who you don't agree with this, you go, there's so many more genders than two. It really didn't have to be this way. This is, in my opinion, the classic example of you give an inch and they take a mile, right? Like Trump hit them with the reverse Uno card right here. Like he just undid a decade of whatever progress all these people made. All these people, I wouldn't even call them the rainbow people, because like the gay people seem to have actually kind of started to distance themselves in the last few years from this stuff. They were like, hey, like we're actually gay. Like this is real. Like we were born gay. Like no man chooses to just have sex with another man. Like they don't choose that. Right? Like you're not, I mean, some people might disagree with that, but I mean, have you ever seen that study where they basically like scan the brainwaves of straight men looking at pictures of men kissing, and they have the same reaction as looking at maggots? Like it's like there's like a thing there. But anyways, the gays were like, yeah, come on. It's like, it's LGBT. That's it. We're like, and we're souring on the T stuff at this point too, right? Excuse me. But, and look, and this gender stuff, like I was probably too early on this shit. Me and Ryan used to make fun of this stuff in like 2015 when we lived in Canada, where people were like, what the fuck are you guys even talking about? And in Canada, like it actually, I don't know if it was like this, and probably it was in America. Like this stuff was, to joke about this stuff 10 years ago was literally to the detriment of your career. Like this was the kind of thing where you were like, yeah, this is definitely like, you can joke about this stuff, but this is hurting you. This is, this was way before Chappelle was talking about this shit. This was not mainstream by any sense of the imagination. We were both Sisyphus pushing this gay ass ball up this mountain, right? But I mean, I remember at the time, like the only reason I talked about it, because I was just like, I don't know, it just seems like a thing comedians should do. It's such an affront to common sense. You're like, what do you mean you could just be anything you want to be, and then we have to pretend that it's the case? You're like, I never cared before if someone pretended they wanted to be anything. I was just like, cool. Go ahead. How does this impact me? And then they go, yeah, no, this does impact you now because you got to participate in this. And we were like, no. This is a little too much. But I mean, like they had almost everything. They literally, like, my buddy works at a fucking bank. He, like, you know, coaches, like, kids hockey on the weekend and shit. He's just, like, the most regular guy can get. Just married, 2 kids, works at a bank. The guy has fucking pronouns in his email signature. He doesn't even know what it means. He, like, literally, like, you got the dudes at banks who don't even know what this shit means. That wasn't enough. But no, it wasn't enough. They needed men in women's sports. And that's when, I guess, regular people were like, this seems wrong. And when you said that, they were like, you're a bigot. That's a hate crime. You're a bigot. And now if you have pronouns in your bio, you're a psycho. Like, literally, it's just the red flag that it always should have been. Right? As it should have been, and it is now. So, we got that. I'm going to open the phone lines up right now. We're going to open the phone lines up. We got Mark answering. Phone lines are open. I will say this, though. We're not totally back. I wish I could say we're totally back, but we're not totally back. I have a new YouTube channel, so I don't know if many of you know this, but my main YouTube channel that I post my stand-up and my sketches and all this stuff was demonetized like 2 years ago because of a short clip, a 30-second clip I posted from the bathhouse. We were talking about the Unabomber. YouTube said that I was glorifying terrorism. They demonetized my channel for life on strike number 1. No recourse. And it's really annoying because I would like a monetized channel because, like, you know, sometimes I think of sketches and I go, I want to make this sketch. And I go, okay, well, that sketch is going to cost me $500 to film that. And I go, okay, well, like, why would I spend $500 to film a sketch when it's literally just like, it's a minus 500. I'm like, I can't get anything from it because my channel's demonetized. Whereas if I had a monetized channel, I go, yeah, I might at least be able to recoup $300 from it or something from YouTube. You go, at least, like, I'm not even saying I'm going to, like, make money. I'm just like, I might just, like, get some of it back. And so, like, I can't even make all the stuff I want because I'm just like, it just doesn't make sense because those fucking bastards. So anyways, I made a new YouTube channel, a backup YouTube channel. You can go follow it at Danny P Jokes. This one, the main one's at Danny P Comedy. And so I've just been re-uploading all my old videos, sketches or whatnot, just because you need like 4,000 hours of watch time before you can be monetized. So I've just been uploading them, all of them, whatever. And then I uploaded the Jew song today. Boom. Instant strike. I get an instant strike on it, which it's up on the other channel without any issue. Just like, what the fuck, Sundar? You were literally at the inauguration yesterday. I saw you there. Like, I saw you there hanging out with Bezos and Zuck. All of them. What the hell, man? And then I appealed it. They didn't even let me write an appeal on this one. Normally, they let you write something, an explanation. Didn't even let me write one. And again, I'm like satirizing hate speech. It's not actual hate speech. It's making fun of it. That's different. It's not the same thing. And it wasn't even monetized. I'm like, seriously, Sundar, you're killing me, Sundar Punchai. Killing me. I only have one piece of praise for Sundar. And it's not getting popped in 4K staring directly at Jeff Bezos' wife, Jugs. God damn, that was the trap if I've ever seen one in my life. Wearing literally like lingerie at the inauguration. Poor Zuck, man. That's brutal. The guy did what every one of us would have done. Like, I feel bad. Like, there's a literal biological response. If you're besides a woman and she just has her tits out, you are literally just fighting biology and gravity at that point to not look at those fun bags. It's every man's worst nightmare what's going on with Zuck right now. Is you're just like, it's one of the biggest news stories in the world is Zuck, just a married man just staring at like, if I was Zuck, I'd been like, no. I was looking at Bezos' bulge. That's just a photo. It looks like I'm staring at her tits, but no, Bezos is packing, man. I just saw Bezos got a fucking python in there. And that's what I was staring at. I mean, it looks like I was staring at her tits, but no, I was staring at Bezos's girthy piece. So that's what it is. But anyways, back to the YouTube thing. It would be nice if there was just some consistency with this shit. That's all I ask. I'd like a Trump executive order or some sort of code of conduct. A little code of conduct for social media, you know? Like, just be like, yo, this is what you're allowed to say. This is what you're like, why do I have a video on one channel that stays up and gets lots of views, and then on another channel it just gets a strike instantly? It doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, Trump had an executive order restoring free speech. Where the hell's that shit? All right. We're going to take some calls. I'm done ranting. Guys, I'm flying on cough syrup right now. I don't know if any of that made sense. I think it did. I think it was fairly cogent. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. If you're an audio listener, follow the podcast. And if you're watching right now on my main comedy channel, the one I referenced, the other demonetized one, come on over to Low Value Mail. Come on over to Low Value Mail. The chat's active. People are chatting. They're fraternizing. They're having a good time. Give me 1 second because I had to make a thing. Boop, boop, boop. I got to figure this out. 1 second. Okay. Zoom meeting. All right. I think we're good here. I think we should be good to take a call. All right. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. Let's take a call here. Caller numero uno. Let's see if this works. Hello. You're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Danny. This is Morgan.
Morgan, what's up, dude? Okay, is it the cough syrup that's making you sound like a robot, or is that your connection?
No, that's my voice right now.
Oh, okay, cool, man. Because I know that's kind of a side effect of the cough syrup. And we're gonna get Mark to jump in because Mark has a comment about the Leonard Peltier situation. So, but anyways, go ahead, Morgan. What's up, dude?
Yeah, I had a question for you. Recently, I subscribed to the Patreon, and going back to some of the old Patreon episodes, you strike me as somebody who always kind of likes to push the envelope and the boundaries of what's allowed.
Correct.
So with Trump in office, I was wondering, do you have any upcoming plans, or are you just going to revel in being the president and kind of enjoy what's going on?
I mean, again, it's like the boundary pushing stuff was also because the administration that was in office and the kind of culture was like, you're not allowed to say these things. There was just that element, like that I mentioned with the gender stuff, like you weren't allowed. You like I would be like when I live in Canada, like it was like you would be punished, like explicitly punished if you were like, yeah, this non-binary thing's. It's fake. It's not real, right? Like if you just would say that, people are like, what are you talking about? Like this is their identity. Like you can't say that, but it was true.
Yeah.
And now everybody's come around to that. But at the time it was like heretical or whatever. Now I mean, me and Ryan have kind of talked about that where there's like, yeah, there's not that much stuff that there's really like kind of everybody has come around to the shit we've kind of just been talking about for a decade. And now everybody's almost caught up with us. I don't know what the kind of super forbidden shit is anymore, to be honest. I mean, I'm still going to make stuff I find funny, but in terms of prodding, I mean, I did get kicked off a Red Note in under 24 hours for making this Xi Jinping AI video, but I knew that was going to happen. So
now I've heard you guys talk about how the rest of the world kind of follows what America's doing. Do you see the rest of the world kind of following with kind of a return to normal values, or do you find that there's going to be kind of a resistance because it's Trump?
I mean, dude, there's been so few like liberal meltdown videos this time around. I don't know if they've like just kind of capitulated or they're just like defeated. I don't really know. I think it'll take a little time for this to shake out specifically. It's hard to say. I think a lot of people will kind of come around where they're just going to be like, they just need the pass almost to say like, look, nobody wants to be the only person not doing this stuff. And if they see America as a country is kind of embracing like, we're done with this DEI shit. we're done with like all this crazy like trans non-binary gender shit. I think most like I could see I mean most people I know in Canada are done with this. It's just the government's not. But then if a conservative government comes in, they're going to do a similar thing, unravel a lot of this bullshit. And I think most people are into it. It's just like most people didn't say stuff because it meant you like losing your job. Like legitimately, you're like, if you worked at like a large corporation or a business, like these people had such a stranglehold over like the HR departments and all that stuff where you're like, it's like you would be questioning this stuff and it could like literally cost you your livelihood. So people were, they just chose not to say anything because they're just like, it just didn't make any sense. It was, you know, you just didn't. But
okay,
yeah,
so
I do think so. Yeah.
So one last question. I was kind of surprised to see this. I saw Hillary Clinton at Trump's inauguration, and I couldn't believe it. I had to double check to make sure it was real. But I'm surprised she still showed up because, you know, it seems like Trump kind of ruined her life, and she still has to show up for this. Is this political theater, or what's really going on?
Dude, this shit is all political theater. You saw fucking Trump yucking it up with Obama at Jimmy Carter's funeral. Man, shit's wrestling, all right? They're basically all on the same team. Yes, they have some disagreements. I'm sure some of them do hate each other. I mean, I've always said this, like with the former press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, and, you know, if you ever watch those videos with her and Peter Doocy, the Fox News guy, and they're like just fucking going at each other. If they're at a bar and there's no cameras, like they know that there's cameras on, so they're playing a part. If there's no cameras on, those two are fucking having drinks, having a good time. Like it's kayfabe. It's literally wrestling. Like they're just like they're playing a part. Now I'm sure Hillary Clinton is like, there is some element of like diplomacy where she just like, you know, has to be at the inauguration, even though Michelle Obama wasn't there, I believe. But, you know, there is some element where you're just like, you know, that's what you do in America. Like all these former high ranking people, you go to these things. But I mean, Biden was there. Like, look how much shit Trump has talked about Biden, and Biden just sat there. So I know he was the former, the outgoing president, but I don't know. There's just a real element with all this stuff where they're like, yeah, they're all just in government. The government is the team, and it's just kind of divided. But at the end of the day, they're all pretty. I mean, she was like at his wedding and stuff.
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
And
like,
you know, if you got time for one more, I'm sorry if you already covered this.
Yeah, go ahead.
An executive order kind of undoing birthright citizenship, even though it's in the Constitution. That
won't pass.
What are your thoughts?
I don't
will
think
or won't.
I do not think that'll pass. Like I'm no constitutional expert. That seems like that's been fairly well adjudicated, and it's pretty clear language in the Constitution. And I was reading up on it. Actually, there was a Chinese guy who was born to illegal Chinese immigrant parents in like the 1800s. He went back to China, but he was born in San Francisco. He came back to San Francisco in 1896. The customs agent wouldn't let him in, basically saying like, you're not American. And he's like, I was born in America. I just haven't been here for a while. And they went to the Supreme Court and they were like, you were born in America. You're an American citizen. They let him back in. So I think he's like, you know, I don't think they're all going to stick, and I don't think this one will stick.
And, you know, sorry to keep the conversation going. Between Biden's pardons and Trump's executive orders, do you think the legislative branch is going to try to put the kibosh on presidential authority?
I don't know. Can they? I'm actually like not knowledgeable on that. Like, do they have the option to? I can't see like that would be such a scandal if Biden pardons his whole family, and then they just go, okay, we're not doing that anymore. When Trump's in office, that'll just be. I mean, if anything, it's just Biden set like a terrible precedent when Trump, like everybody was claiming Trump was going to do that on his way out. He did none of that. Biden said he would never do that, then did all of it. But I don't know. I don't know if they can. I actually don't know. Like I can't. I don't know how easy or hard that is to do. But
it's a wild time, Danny. Wild time.
I agree. Thanks, man. Appreciate you calling in.
Thanks for having me. Good night.
Okay, we're gonna give Mark wanted to chime in here. Producer Mark, we're gonna give him the floor here. Mark, I actually can't unmute you, so we might you might. Yeah, I can't unmute you, Mark. So I don't. Oh, here we can. Sorry.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up, man? Why is everybody robotic tonight?
I don't know. Do I sound robotic?
Is it just me? Guys, chat, is it just me hearing that? Or
I did notice when I was, because I play the show and look at the chat over here on my phone to make sure everything sounds good. I did notice a little bit of a robot voice, but I could have swore it was coming from my computer headphones, not my phone. Were you putting me on to talk about Leonard Peltier real quick? Because I was just taking.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, so first of all, we might get Ross Ulbricht on this show because I know his mom. No brag there.
Oh, that would be crazy.
And yeah, Leonard Peltier, as far as I know, was a part of a movement. I think it's called the American Indian Movement. And sorry, caller, I just sent somebody to voicemail. Call back in 5 minutes. But he was a part of something called the AIM movement, the American Indian movement. And at that time, a lot of the left-wing radical groups had communist backers back in Russia. So that might explain why they were speaking highly of Leonard Peltier, because there was the Cold War going on, and ostensibly the Soviet Union was funding communist activity in the United States. The best example of that would be in the field of ufology. But yeah, Leonard Peltier, he might, I mean, that might be an apt comparison, comparing him with George Floyd, although he did kill these FBI agents on native land, as far as I know. And these guys were they were within their rights to defend themselves. So that's where the controversy goes on with Leonard Peltier, if I'm remembering correctly, is that there's a debate on whether or not he killed them in self-defense or if he killed them as a sort of terroristic.
I mean, there was
which at that point, I mean, these guys.
From what I read, there was 125 rounds fired into these FBI agents' car, and I think they were looking for somebody else, but it's like he did have a warrant for an attempted murder on a off-duty police officer. You're just like, I just don't get why this guy's like a hero.
Yeah, I think it could be a good comparison to George Floyd, but you also have to keep in mind, like, that reservation where Wounded Knee is, I believe, is one of the poorest reservations in the whole United States. So, and not to mention, most of the reservations are hotbeds for criminal activity because of the sovereign laws.
Yeah. But are you allowed to murder an FBI agent on native land?
Well, I doubt it. I mean, I doubt you can do.
Yeah, it seems like that's kind of doesn't matter where. It's like
right.
You just kill an FBI agent just because it's on native
They can't
land.
even kill a deer and skin it, Yeah. So I think it's a case of people seeing how Indians just in general have been unfairly treated.
Yeah, I agree with that part. I'm not even disputing the unfair treatment of the Indians. Like, it's the same case in Canada.
Right.
I'm just like, what? But why is this guy a hero? Like, it seems like
it's left-wing politics.
Yeah, just like left-wing nonsense.
Yeah, which, go figure. Biden, I don't know if you saw his apology tour that he did for the Native Americans, but he went on this apology tour through the southwestern states, and right after apologizing to the Native Americans who live around the Grand Canyon, he authorized a Canadian drilling company to drill uranium near the Grand Canyon, which got into the drinking water, and now those tribes which he apologized to are now being poisoned by uranium. So Biden he's a big old whoopsie. So, yeah. But I don't have anything else to add. Thanks for letting me jump in.
Thanks, Mark. Mark, everybody, I'm actually going to reset this little audio driver thing here and see if this will fix it. So just because with the robot voice, because this is tripping me out too much. Give me 1 second here, please. Hopefully this works. Oh, shut up with your SWB audio capture. Okay, let's see if that fixed it. Hold on. I don't know if it did. This thing's so fun. Live streaming is so fun. Just sometimes shit that just works every week just doesn't work. And you want to know why? Just fucking cuz. Just because. Okay. Let's try it again. Let's take another call. We got Frankenstein.
Hey, what is happening, fool?
Well, what's up, man? Didn't work. Was it worth a try?
Am I robotic?
Yeah, everybody is. I don't know why. It's just that's what it is.
Well,
today.
fuck yeah, dude.
It's just the
I'm finally a cyborg. I made it.
Cough syrup robot hour tonight.
How are you, sir? Besides fucked up on the robos.
I'm all right. I'm coughing less than I thought I would be, so that's something.
Well, I wanted to sing you a sweet song that I wrote you.
Okay.
I got you, baby. Danny the Sage, he took the stage for Donald Trump's new golden age. Yeah, yeah. A little melody I've been working on there.
All right. There you go. That's something.
Oh, God. No, but for real, though, I wanted to bring up this, like, idea that so everything works in cycles, right? Like, and what have you noticed in this past century, from like the early part of the 1900s to now, that has repeated itself and almost maybe shown itself again in a cyclical nature and the political scheme?
Oh, good question. What is I don't know. Is it Jew stuff?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay.
We're almost in the era of like, if we fucking repeat the war scene and the World War I and II, which we're just so fucking close to that time. I owe my dear sweet fucking criminy. Like, we would be going through another 20 years of just straight shit, starting at basically 2028 to 2030 and onward. And I don't know, man. Like, I'm just really hoping that, the cycle doesn't repeat itself.
Yeah, well, we're currently, I don't know if I've spoken about this on the show before, but there's this book called The Fourth Turning by Neil Howe. He's this demographer dude, really smart guy. But
it's mind-blowing book. So fucking good.
So good. So basically, he's saying we're currently in the fourth turning. It's basically the world goes through 80-year cycles, basically 80-year cycles broken up into essentially 4 seasons of 20 years each. We are currently, in his opinion, we're in the fourth turning right now. It started probably around when Trump got in the first time, 2015, last 20 years. So it should be 20. So we're about halfway through the fourth turning, and it's a period of crazy chaos, which has been fucking, could not be more on point. And this book is from the 90s. So this was not like he wrote this 5 years ago. This was from the 90s. Said that around 2015 there would be this 20-year cycle of just like chaotic shit, and he goes back in history and shows it's fucking kind of like clockwork. It's crazy. And so anyways, we're 10 years in, so we probably have another 10 years of craziness before you get into some sort of like better times.
That book blew my fucking mind, dude. I listened to it on Audible because I love audio learning.
Yeah, me too.
And I was like through the first chapter, and I was like, these guys are fucking on to something, bro. Like, they took so much analytical data, looked at all of this historical, happenings, and put it to the test. And they were, like you're saying, in the mid 90s. They were on fucking point. I really hope that people go read that fucking book.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a very good one. But I don't know what the next 10 years brings, and I mean, I couldn't have told you 10 years ago I mean,
It's going fast, dude.
Yeah, hopefully. But I mean, this
Oh
next
my
4
God.
years of Trump could be crazy. Could be exponentially crazier than the previous 4 years of Trump. Who knows?
I feel like this is a good year to make a bunch of fucking money.
Maybe it
Just
is. I mean,
fucking,
maybe.
like, go.
Maybe. Like again, it's like we. It's one of these things. Just like most people just kind of bury their head in the sand about, but this country is hurtling towards insolvency. Like, I'm not saying it's likely, but it's not 0% chance that you'll be buying fucking like loaves of bread with just wheelbarrows full of money. So it's like, yeah, maybe you make a lot of money. Maybe it's not worth anything in fucking 5 years.
Some artisanal loaves of bread right now are like upwards of almost fucking $10, which is mind blowing.
I know, man. Dude, everything's
What the fuck?
Everything's out of control right now. All right, I'm gonna let
Oh
you
my
go.
God.
I'm gonna let you go, man. But thanks for calling in.
Peace, brother. Hey, yes, sir.
Later. People are saying the callers are too loud. I just lowered it. I think it hopefully should affect that. I'm sorry about the robot shit. No clue. Literally works every other week. Keep looking at the board to see if like some of these effects are on or something. I don't see it. So let's take another call here. Hello.
Yo.
Oh man,
What's going on, Danny?
Chad's voice is a robot? Kidding me.
I'm a robot, man.
Dude, everybody is. I don't know what's going on. This fucking stupid ass thing is that I use for whatever reason. Just everybody's a robot tonight. I don't know.
Bleep.
It's so weird. It's so weird too, because now they're saying the chat can't hear. Oh, the chat can't hear the robot. So then it is the headphones. Okay, if it's the headphones, that's fine.
Are you sure it isn't the Robitussin?
It might be. I got this other. It's called like benzonate something or some shit, and I've been taking double doses of it. It says only take 3 a day. I've been taking 2 at a time, 6 a day. But if the chat doesn't hear it, I've had this issue before. That's fine. If I just have to deal with it, I don't care about that. What's up, Chad? How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. We living in some crazy times, aren't we?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, we are. I mean, there's
I was watching the inauguration, and you know what kind of stuck out to me a little bit was just the fact that Michelle wasn't there. I think you pointed it out earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't there though.
Yeah.
And she wasn't at Jimmy Carter's funeral either.
I know there's some theories that her and Baraki are a little on the outs right now.
Her and Baraki are going through a little rocky time.
I know. And then he posted that photo on their anniversary, or it was either their anniversary or her birthday, and he was looking good, and she looked like shit in the photo. He was kind of sandbagging her a bit. Like, dude, if I posted a photo and my wife looked like that, I would fucking be she would be like, delete that immediately. She's like, you can't post that photo. She wouldn't even let me post the photo until she like looked at it. If I just did that, dude, she looks like she's wearing like a fucking pajamas. They're in like some wine cellar, and they're like holding hands, and it looks like the classic photo of your boy who like is like in a rocky relationship, and it's like the photo is kind of like you're like, yeah, things aren't going well. This is kind of like an attempt to patch things over a bit. Like this like kind of proof of life of relationship video.
Well, it didn't seem to work out too well.
No. But we'll see. But yeah, I don't know where she's been. I don't know if she just like hates Trump so much that she's like, I'm not going. I don't know.
I think that's definitely a part of it, because like I think she was like one of the main ones on the campaign trail talking about. I mean, I know everybody.
I mean, so was Hillary Clinton, though.
I feel like she was. Yeah, but she was gonna come, and I feel like she was definitely gonna come. I don't know, because they got that thing about we're better than Trump. Like, as a matter of fact, it's crazy. Wasn't Michelle Obama the one that says when they go low, we go high?
Yeah, yeah.
And like now she she couldn't even come to the to the events or whatever.
No,
So
no. It sounds like it sounds like she wasn't going high there. Didn't sound like that at all.
30%.
Yeah.
Maybe she was back in Hawaii just chilling. They said that she was in Hawaii, so like, I mean, it was pretty cold around here, in the DC area. So
I mean,
it's been like,
look, she could have made it. It's like, what's she doing that's so pressing? She's retired, basically.
right. Or I mean, essentially doesn't ever have to work again.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably worth $500 million. Like, if she wanted to make it, she's got a private plane that could literally,
Right.
get her over there. It's just clearly it was a choice she made, which is fine. I mean, I don't give a shit. But for her to, like she could have made it.
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I was gonna say another thing. I was realizing, like, he said the thing about the United States government is only going to recognize male and female as the two official genders or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't really heard much like uproar about that, like I would have, which leads me to believe like maybe people are like kind of tired for real. I feel like
the thing
people have been going so crazy for like the last 12 years.
He's just saying what everybody already felt, which was like, this is stupid. Like, these non-binary people, you're just making this up. 99% of you, especially the non-binary people, but all the other, like the poly, and you're like, all these people, you're like, you're not going to be this in 10 years. Like, if we could just fast forward 10 years, you'll be like, I'm not non-binary anymore. I'm gay or whatever. Like, it's going to regress to the mean, and you're just going to go back to the thing that you already were. It was merely a ploy to gain, like, just to score points, social capital or whatever. It's over. Like, it's over. Some people are going to be like, they're at risk and they're going to kill themselves, and everybody's just like, it's over. We don't care anymore. You're like, if they need medical, if they need to go see a therapist, go see a therapist. If they want to be non-binary, you can be non-binary. There's no law against that. It's just, we're not participating anymore. It's like, we're done with
the game is over.
Yeah, it's over.
The fun is over.
You had your time. You got a lot. I mean, they did better than they could have ever imagined. And I'm sure there's a lot of people. I went on Blue Sky to see what people are like. On Blue Sky, everybody's just like, I didn't even watch people are like, they're very much sticking their head in the sand on this. They're like, we're not even paying attention to anything right now. That's the real tone over on Blue Sky. Is like, we're not watching any of this shit. We're not reading about any of this stuff. We're not doing any of it. And so maybe some of them don't even know about it. I don't know. But again, I don't even know like the real world implications of this like two gender thing. It's just, it's back to like, we don't care if you want to. It's like, it's still America. This isn't China or Russia where they're saying like, hey, if you want to say you're non-binary, like that's illegal. Like, we're not doing that.
Right.
You can still do it. We just don't care.
Exactly. And then you won't be protected by, I mean, you'll still be protected, like from whatever, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, literally your non-binary shit plunged us into like a literal decade cultural dark age. Like with this, it's over.
But at least we got Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, I mean, again, nobody's been more vindicated than that guy. Like, you plot this shit, and like the end point was yesterday, and the starting point was him getting yelled at in the University of Toronto, like fucking courtyard, 12 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
So I mean, he sure is. He sure feels vindicated, I imagine. But yeah, I mean, it's over. You're like, be non-binary. We didn't care before. People only cared when they were forced to like be involved. Nobody gave a shit before that.
Right. And my last point, real quick, I just want to say Trump's gonna have to come up with a better name for the Panama Canal than the American Canal. I don't think anybody's trying to hear that shit.
You don't like America Canal?
I mean, America Canal.
Oh,
okay.
You don't like?
I was thinking that.
Yeah,
I don't like American Canal.
American Canal, America Canal. Yeah, I don't know, USA Canal. I don't know. The Panamanian seems like they're not having any of it. He does seem like he just was like, yeah, it's the Gulf of America now. I didn't know they could do that. Like, I didn't know that was
I know.
Again, I don't know.
So are they going to update all the new globes and stuff in the maps?
I mean, people don't really buy maps or globes anymore. It's really just Google and Apple. You go, is Google and Apple going to update it? I mean, Google, again, it's like those guys are fucking bending the knee right now. He just goes to a couple of them and goes, yo, update your maps. It's like, it's probably just one line of code. Just update it and go, boom.
Right. He might have told him at the inauguration.
Yeah, he just goes, hey, it's the Gulf of America now. Now, I don't know how renaming bodies of water works because I don't, like, it's not all in America, right?
You just made me wonder, like, how much of what we believe is internationally recognized? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
are we the only ones who believe certain shit?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I didn't know that. Like, I'm sure. I mean, I know they can rename stuff because they renamed all sorts of shit in the last 8 years. Like, because of, you know, a lot of the cultural stuff that was going on. We go, that guy said something racist, so we're renaming that, pulling down all the statues.
Danny, I'm so glad you said that because I was in the supermarket the other day, and I did not realize that there's no more Aunt Jemima.
You only figured that out now?
Man, I had no idea. I didn't know it was an issue or nothing. I didn't. And then it says it's pearl milling now. Like, they went the entirely opposite way. Like,
yeah, Land O'Lakes. We had a guest a couple weeks ago talk about how Land O'Lakes, they got rid of the native woman, even though it was like actually culturally appropriate. The Land O'Lakes butter just like doesn't have the lady on it anymore. The native lady.
See, everything is just becoming hogwash. But maybe we're like, gonna get to a point where that stuff is.
But it accomplished nothing. It's like I mean, you're a black guy. Does anybody you know? I'm sure you know lots of black people. Who was really mad about Aunt Jemima?
Oh, it's crazy because no one told me. I've been telling everybody.
Yeah,
it's like ain't nobody know nothing. They like, man, it's not even that big. I'm like, man, y'all tripping. I grew up with Aunt Jemima. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing. It's like they're fucking erasing your shit. You go, that was like ours. And you go, not so fast.
I know. Washington Commanders. Why didn't that baseball team have to change their name if the Commanders had to change?
I mean,
their
the Blackhawks didn't have to change their name. The Commanders, I think, was because they had been. I guess because it was like Redskins and red denotes like skin color, and they go, that's like racist because it's like red skin. So there was that, and then their owner was like such a piece of shit. Although they're like a comedian I know, Josh Adam Myers, he's a big Redskins fan, and they obviously won to go to the NFC Championship or AFC NFC, and then like their fight song still is Redskins. Like they haven't updated their fight song is still.
Oh no, they have the.
Still says Redskins.
I went to a Commanders game earlier this year to see my New York Football Giants lose because we didn't have a fucking field goal kicker, but that's another story.
Yeah,
but either way, they was definitely singing that Commanders song, like "Hail to the Commanders." It sounds so terrible.
Oh, see, that's the thing. But the actual fans, like, there's a Washington bar in New York City. And when they won, there was like Josh Adam Myers was taking a video of the bar, and everybody was singing the original Redskin song. Like nobody sings that shit outside of the stadium.
Yeah, of course. You already know.
Who knows, man? They might change it back. Although they won't change it back. Not now that they're winning, you can't change it back because that's like how players like won't change it. Like once you're winning, if you go on a long losing streak, maybe you change it back. But if you're winning, it's Commanders now. You can't change it. It's bad juju.
Yeah, it's kind of, and truth be told, like, and just because I live in the area, I know that they actually just changed the name of the stadium over there. So like now it's like an entirely different, like, I don't know, feel to it for us.
Yeah.
It's not
but I mean, it's working.
Anymore.
It's working. So. You can't. Yeah, they haven't been in an NFC Championship game since '91. So it's like you can't touch it.
Oh yeah.
You can't fuck with it at all.
Everybody's going to those games, and that stadium is not the nicest. So,
it's not the nicest.
You know.
Well, hey, man, you get a few good years. Like, look at the Bills. You get 5 good years, you get a brand new stadium. The Bills have playing the biggest piece of shit probably in the NFL. Probably the worst stadium in the whole league.
I mean, but truth be told, I mean, I feel like the Giants' old stadium was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but now they share with
but
now they share with the Jets, and they got a pretty good one. They got a nice new one. They just have to share it.
Yeah, that's nice.
And they play in they don't even play in. I mean, the Bills are the only team that play in New York State. The other 2 teams play in fucking New Jersey.
Heck, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, the Giants and the Jets play in New Jersey. It's literally stupid. All right, Chad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go, buddy. Good talking to you.
All right. Hey, follow me at Chad Plays Guitar.
Go follow Chad, everybody. He plays the intro music for the Bathhouse, outro music for the podcast. Go follow him. Creator of Light Switch. Later, buddy.
Peace.
Chad, turn up, everybody. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to swap out my headphones. I wonder if it's my headphones that are the issue here. Let's see. Was it it's just the headphones. Fucking Chinese garbage. Oh, actually, these are not that much better. All right. Well, so it was just the headphones the entire time. Of course it was. Literally, guys. Of course it was just the headphones. These things are pieces of shit. Just gonna throw this in the garbage. Oh, okay. Let's take another call here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna read a couple super chats here quickly. And again, drop a super chat. One of you will win a 6-month Patreon Low Value Mail membership, and sign up for the Patreon. Patreon.com/Low Value Mail, MAIL, $5 a month. Helps out the show, and you can win money. We got Sean from Pittsburgh. Braze it. Anton, get used to that feeling, Jew man. Vincent, big supporter of the show. Vincent, I'll be yo Huckleberry. Vincent, I responded to you on Instagram. Vincent made a little painting that he wants to send. Adamu. Danny, you got to give away 500 shekels or Jew Bear. You know what? I'm gonna give Jew Bear's worth almost nothing right now. Unfortunately, Trump coin and the Melania coin launched a few days after Jew Bear. I don't know if you guys even know about the Jew Bear thing. I launched a meme coin based off of a Drunken Slav call. It was worth at $1.5 million. Crazy how the internet works. And now it's worth nothing. But I'll give away one person a 6-month Patreon membership, and then one person, you're going to have a Solana wallet, but I'll give you 50,000 Jew Bear tokens. And Anton says, I can't breathe. All right, let's take another call here. Phone lines are open, of course. And I thought this guy was dead, so let's talk to him. I thought this guy's been dead. I have actually been worried about this guy. Rube.
Hello, Danny Magic. This is Rube Tron. If you could see me right now, I am doing a dance. It's called The Robot.
How you doing, Rube? I've been worried about you, man.
Yeah, well, you should be, Danny. I haven't been doing too good.
Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear. What's going on?
It's -1 degrees where I live.
That sucks, man. -1 degrees Fahrenheit? Brutal, dude.
And it's about to get worse. Polar vortex.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it was snowing today in New Orleans. It's happening everywhere.
Danny.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Are you vaccinated?
Against what?
COVID.
Currently?
Did you get the shot?
I got the first one because I wanted to go to my grandmother's 95th birthday in Canada, and the only way I could get into Canada was I had to get it. So, and I don't regret it.
Those sons of bitches.
I actually don't regret it because she passed away last year, and it was, in hindsight, totally worthwhile. Now, I do have myocarditis, and that's obviously a different problem that I have to deal with, but I don't regret it.
Are you serious?
No, I don't have myocarditis. I do have HIV though, but it's no. I mean, I hate that they made me do it, but
but other than that, I'm okay.
Yeah, but other than that, I'm okay. But yeah, like obviously, I'm not pumped that I had no choice to do that. But like in hindsight, if those were the circumstances, I was just like, yeah, I did do it. But then I faked I faked all the other ones.
Did you get sick at all from it?
No, my shoulder hurt for like a day. And that was it.
I got a friend on the inside, and he told me there were actually three. You have to check the serial number on the shots. There were three different versions of the shot with different levels of the actual vaccination in it. Some of them had 0 vaccine in it, and some of them were like all vaccine, and some was just a percentage. I don't know how true it is, but
they just weren't mixed. They just weren't mixed well.
No, it was intentional. It's a big experiment, is what he was implying.
Oh,
that yeah. Do you know what the death rate is for that vaccine?
Which one? Like just like in general,
Pfizer.
like all the different ones.
The Pfizer, according to the Pfizer, they weren't going to release something for like 72 years or something. Then they did release it or something. It's 3% death rate in 1 month.
Damn.
But also,
that's a lot. That's way higher than COVID.
Yeah, that's higher than COVID. Yeah.
Jesus.
But also, those numbers aren't accurate. I was listening to the Jimmy Dore show, and I think, who do you have on there, Dr. Drew? He was saying something about how if during the experiment of the vaccine, if you died in the first 2 weeks, you were not counted as a death.
Well, that's convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely literally the first 2 weeks. You're like, that's probably the most dangerous time. It's like the most when they're really testing it out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, funny business.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking today is whatever happened to the Kanye West Donald Trump connection?
What do you mean?
Weren't they like boys? They were buddies. They were hanging out. They would meet together every now and then or something. But Kanye's not so much in the news. I don't know. It's just like I forgot all about it. And then your show came on, and for some reason, Kanye popped in my head. And I was like, whatever happened to the Trump-Kanye connection?
I don't know. I mean, you know, Kanye kind of made himself a little radioactive with all his crazy Jew stuff, where you're like, even if you were friends with him, you kind of were like, you couldn't, you know, you had to, if you were trying to be like having any sort of mainstream success. I mean, look at like, you know, Trump like had met with Nick Fuentes for like 5 minutes in Mar-a-Lago, and it was just like a giant fucking controversy. I think that was that with Kanye and Nick Fuentes, or was that with Milo and Nick Fuentes? But either way, it's just like, you know, these guys understand how the game works, and you're like, sometimes, you know, Trump obviously knew that he still wanted to be president, and he's probably just like, yeah, I can't touch that shit.
Hey, have you ever tested your IQ?
I think I did when I was a child. I think my parents made me do it. Very poor spatial ability, which checks out. That was my, like, literally, I was very good at like maths and languages. My spatial ability was like Forrest Gump level. It's crazy.
You're not good at basketball, is what you're saying.
I'm great. I'm actually pretty good at basketball. I can ball. I can ball.
Okay.
No, I can ball. But no, my spatial ability, like, I get lost really easily in places that I've been. Like, I'll give you a very good example. So I just moved into a new building, and it has 2 elevators that face each other, right? So depending on what elevator I get into, I have to turn a different way to get to my apartment, right? Because they face each other. So one elevator I have to turn right, one elevator I have to turn left. Every time I get in the elevator, when it opens, it takes me like a second where I got to be like, which way? Like, whereas I know people who would just naturally know. My dog, for example, who doesn't know numbers, obviously has a sense of smell and whatnot. My dog knows exactly which way to go, regardless of what elevator we're in. The door opens, he bolts in the exact right direction every time.
Speaking of your home life,
yeah.
I basically know nothing about your wife other than I love hearing you bitch about her every now and then. What does she
It's
do?
cathartic. My wife, she's a therapist.
No, now what kind of therapist?
Just like a, she's not a doctor. She's like, she might be listening, but she knows that what I'm gonna say is true. But she's like retarded. But no, she's a therapist. She like helps people, people with their problems, people just like going through issues.
Oh, okay, just like counseling.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, she really helps people. Like, it is crazy. Like, she really like helps people like going through like really rough shit. But she can't like prescribe medication or anything.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. But she's.
And your comedian friends, do they know her?
Yeah, we're all friends.
Oh, okay.
Why do you ask? Slav met her.
I go
in Vegas.
Yeah, Slava gets around, huh?
Yeah, at Skankfest.
I got two more things for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Inflation.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible, right?
Yep.
And everybody's bitching. The latest thing I'm hearing is, oh my God, the price of eggs are $4. Okay, stop.
They're more
right
than
there.
that. I've seen them as much higher, but there's a factor with the price of eggs, by the way, that is not purely inflation. It's the avian flu is causing them to kill, as far as I understand, massive amounts of chickens. So there's like the supply is lower.
Okay. Well, it could be anything. But for me personally, what I'm saying is I have chickens. And do you know how much it costs me to get one egg out of these fucking birds? How much food I have to give them?
How much? I thought they just eat grass.
Well, I mean, if you let them loose, yeah, they'll eat bugs and stuff. But, like, they still want that cornmeal. And,
Okay.
like, at this time of the year, I can't let them out in the weather. So, I go through, like, 50 pounds of chicken feed, every month, let's say.
Okay, 50 pounds of chicken feed. How much is a pound of chicken feed?
Well, my sister buys it. I never buy it. Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
But it's a lot. I mean, it's there. The point I'm trying to make is we've kind of been spoiled with mass production lowering the cost of things. I mean, the cost of a real egg is, for you to do it yourself, if provided you have the accommodations.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, but you're getting way better eggs. Like sometimes I'll go to like Trader Joe's and I'll just buy the eggs that they have that are like whatever, $3 a carton. Those eggs are fucking garbage. Like you're getting the eggs with like the super orange yolks. These are like weird yellow.
Oh yeah.
They're not good.
And the shells are super hard.
Yeah, these are not good.
Yeah. There's just different sides to the inflation thing is the only thing I want to point out. And the last thing I had is, what is with Melania's hat for the inauguration?
I like the hat. She's European. She's like Slovakian or some shit. Americans just don't understand European fashion. Europeans are fashionable, man. It's just like, that's just like how they are.
It's just that simple.
Yeah, it's like my family's
just that simple.
It's just like, dude, you go to Europe, it's like everybody fucking dresses nice. Even if it's just like out for an afternoon, like it's like they're like they don't all fucking dress like Fetterman, hoodie and fucking basketball shorts.
There's the guy I follow on Instagram. In fact, I think I'm going to send you his link because it'd be great if you had him as a guest sometime. Spencer from Florida, Spenser.
Yeah.
Brilliant fucking guy. If you're not familiar with him, but. He put up something with Melania's hat, making a reference to the V for Vendetta movie. So
yeah, I saw people saying she looked like Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, but it was a little bit more sinister than that because you never seen her eyes.
It
seemed.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. If you have she made like fucking $1 billion on her shit coin that she pumped out the other day. I don't know.
All right. That's all I got, brother, man.
Yeah. Rube, good to hear from you, man. I'm glad everything's at least, I'm glad you're not dead, I guess. because I hadn't heard from you.
The Rube is alive.
Hadn't heard from you in a few weeks. I was starting to worry, and I think a lot of people were starting to worry. So good to hear from you. We'll talk
I
soon.
just had nothing to say.
Oh, all right. We just like to hear from you, man.
All right.
Rube Star, everybody. Rube, everybody. Let's take another question here. Let's see who we got. Patrick. Hello. What's up, man?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Well, I have it on good authority that you are spatially retarded and that Connor, your dog, is more spatially aware than you are.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, you have it on good authority
Correct.
because I just said that.
Yeah, I was told to repeat it by
Okay.
Well, yeah.
My
I have two questions.
my spatial ability is like comically low. Comically poor.
Okay. Yeah. Can you catch a ball?
Oh, dude, my hand-eye coordination is incredible. Like you could, dude. I'm like, yeah. I played baseball my whole life. Like That's the thing. It's my spatial ability doesn't apply to like stuff like that. It's just like I get lost.
Like balls.
Yeah, I can catch stuff very like definitely way above average. Like if you throw an item at me, I will likely catch it. It's not that. I mean, I got a cannon for an arm. Ask Derek Drescher.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like I get lost.
Well, my first question was if you have any maybe smaller conspiracies that maybe you haven't shared before.
Smaller,
or maybe new ones.
Smaller,
just maybe like, any conspiracies maybe that you haven't shared, but I say smaller because maybe they're not as broad.
Nothing really. I mean, I was thinking that maybe Trump changing Gulf, but again, like it doesn't even make sense. But like Trump changing Gulf of America was just because he's got a lot of like rich Jewish backers who own map making companies.
Okay.
Yeah. That's about it.
Well, my second question actually has to do with what Rube was just talking about. Is if Melania's hat, that whole, I'm sure you've seen videos of him kissing the air next to her cheek.
Yeah. That's how Europeans do it, man. They do those air kisses.
Really? They don't actually make contact.
I mean, here's the thing. You do make contact, but sometimes, it's more like a cheek to cheek where you don't necessarily kiss the cheek. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But like in the moment, you miss. You're not like Trump's so like hyper focused on his image that Trump's probably like, man, they'll kill me if I go back for this and do it a second time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's probably just like one shot. If I miss it, that's that, and he just like has to move on. But yeah, I did see that with her.
Yeah.
But that's at least my thoughts on it. Is Trump's probably just like, you don't do it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why you think it's like? I mean, obviously, like she knows all the shit about him cheating on her. I'm sure they have some kind of arrangement where, like I'm not saying she's fucking other guys, and he's like 80 at this point. He's probably done with banging other chicks and whatnot. But I'm sure that cloud hangs over their marriage. It's hard not to. I'm sure
you don't think that the Trump dog is? You don't think he's got some more testosterone running around somewhere?
I mean, I feel like at this point he's just like, look, I've done all that. I'm 78 years old. Like it's time to work on getting my face on Mount Rushmore or like whatever. Like this is like legacy building time. And like any guy knows, I'm sure there's some guys who you're like, your main thing is just crushing chicks and it's not productive. Like it doesn't couple well with being productive if you're a pussy hound. Like it's hard to do both at the same time. And I think he's probably just, that's over with, and now it's time to just get shit done. And again, this is his last crack at being president. He can't do it again. He miraculously got a second chance at it against all odds. And I think he's just like, now it's just time to get down to business. And he's hitting the ground running.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's
well,
that's my thoughts on it.
Well, that was all I had.
Cool, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yep. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Okay. Let's take another call here. And if you're on the line, stay on the line. I'll get to you. Hello. You're on Low Value Mail.
Hey, Danny.
Hey, what's up?
This is Ben. How you doing? I'll give my location, but
very good. How you doing, Ben?
Been a big fan.
Thanks, man. Nice to talk to you, Ben.
I'm doing pretty good. All like all things considered, pretty happy with the Trump victory. Kind of like in got a good job that I've been, trying to work for the last few years, but it's also kind of like a little, like a little bittersweet because like all of like the like the executive orders and that came through. It's like cool to see those things, like things that have kind of like pissed me off, but I can't really do anything about it. You know what I mean? Except for vote.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, you voted and it worked.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's like things that have been like poisoning me for like the last like 30 years.
30? Like what?
It's like, God. Well, okay. Well, so I don't want to go life story, but like, let's just, for example, like middle school. I was in a little charter school run by a bunch of liberals, and they made us do a play. And in the play, there was this character called the chauvinist male. So it was all exactly like I'm like middle school. So there's only this concept that men can be poisonous.
How old are you?
I won't get my age, but this was like
this is 30 years ago.
Like 2000. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 2000.
Oh, this is 2000. Okay. So this is 25 years ago.
Yeah. But obviously I'm older than that, but this was like middle school. So I don't have this concept that male is poisonous, and there was no introduction of like, the bickering female or anything about negative about women. You know what I mean? So like,
sure.
My whole life that's like my origin story.
That's crazy they were doing that in 2000 because I didn't even really know that it started yet.
Yeah, yeah, because this was the school I was at when like the towers got hit.
Okay.
So what I'm just seeing is okay. Yeah, Trump, great, that's great. But I just don't think that it's going to be the victory that like everyone is hoping it's going to be. Because like there's like a real rut that is going to at least take 30 years to undo.
Oh yeah.
That's if it can be undone.
I mean, if you think about the Yuri Bezmenov kind of thing, it's like, if it took like 40 years to just kind of 30, 40 years to get to that point. So yeah, like to unravel it all. It's not going to be 4 years. That's for sure. And again, they're not going to just go out. They're not going to go out quietly. You can be sure of that. Like all these people who are doing all this stuff and, injecting all these ideologies into the minds of little children, they're not just going to snap their fingers and stop overnight. Now, I know that he is kind of moving the whole, getting rid of the Department of Education, moving it to states, and states can kind of determine things on their own. But yeah, it's going to take a while. I agree on that.
Yeah, and
but
like
I mean, it's better than
he's like,
Kamala winning.
Well, I kind of joke in my mind, and I tell people if they ask who I voted for, I tell them I voted for Kamala because I was kind of hoping to like bring the whole thing down sooner, which would probably be the better option. Like crash it faster than, slower.
Hey man, I don't know if that's the case.
So I don't know.
I don't know if this would have. I don't know if this would have accelerated the downside with Kamala. I mean, you might have got. I mean, yeah, I don't know about. I don't necessarily agree with that. That it just would have. Like, I mean, Trump won for a reason, I think, and it's that people were like really over this shit.
Yeah, I might be memeing just a little bit, but like, like I bought all my AR-15s and my armor and stocked up on like 5,000 pounds of beans, so that now I can't use them because Trump's going to save the country.
I mean, you can still eat the beans. You just have to eat a lot of beans, but you can still eat the beans. And again, it's like there are like people don't. It's not even people don't think about these things, but it's really impossible to know like second and third order effects of the stuff Trump's doing. Like to assume that it's just going to be smooth sailing for the next 4 years. Like, you don't know. Well, I mean, there could be some crazy shit happen that nobody can anticipate easily.
Yeah. I mean, like, we could have like another 9/11 happen. Like, who knows what the hell's going to happen? We could have another pandemic. And so funny thing today is he announced like his like Project Stargate.
Yeah.
And then he had one like so he had one of like the it was like, oh, okay, this is all great. And then they had the executive come up from Oracle and he's talking about what the AI is going to do. And then he's like, oh, and then we're going to be able to design like a personalized mRNA vaccine. And I'm like, I heard like, that like stereotypical soundboard, oh no, go off in my head. It was just like, come on, dude. Are you trying to crash this before it's even taken off?
Yeah. I mean, again, Trump is like, the weird thing is obviously with the COVID stuff is he forever was like, that's, calling it the Trump vaccine and all that shit when it was popular. And then he kind of was like distancing himself from it. But again, it's like there's a difference between creating a vaccine and forcing people to take it, right? And like you have RFK Jr., who's like pretty vaccine skeptical, in charge of the like largest arm of the government. Like the HHS has the biggest budget out of any of them. So I mean, at least you have the people in place where it's not like too concerning. Like, I don't care if people want to work on creating vaccines. Like, maybe they do come up with something good. Who knows? I mean, they're not all bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's not 100% of vaccines are bad. It's just like, don't make people take experimental ones and don't make people take any of them.
Like, right. And well, I'm one of those nut jobs. I go and get the religious exemption for my kid. And then I go and like look at them and I pick them like a menu and I go like, yeah, that one. Yeah, it would suck if you got that. That one, I'd probably get over that.
Yeah, like I don't want my kid to get I mean, there's all the fucking Orthodox Jews in Brooklyn here, and they have like these crazy measles outbreaks, and you're like, I don't know, I don't want my kid to have measles. Like that one,
it's like we beat those. Yeah.
Yeah, like that one seems all right. You're like, I don't want measles, but then there's like a lot of other ones where you're like, the
like a hepatitis.
The hepatitis where, RFK's like, that's for like prostitutes and shit. Why are you giving that to a baby? And you go, yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe there's something to read into that because if you think everyone's like a Satanist or something, like they're preparing the kids for that.
Sure, yeah, exactly. So, anyways, that's where I stand on that. But I don't know. I mean, the AI stuff is going to be the craziest technology wise in the next 4 years. Like, I mean,
I run a little one at the home.
What's that?
I run a little AI like on my like personal hobby network, and I'm totally sold. Like it's going to be the future, and it's one of those things where if you resist it, you're going to be a caveman in 5 years, and if you embrace it and start learning how to work with it, I mean the shit that you've done is just like amazing.
Yeah,
I think.
And I'm like a Luddite with this shit.
Right. And I can do some things with computers like really well. I could do other things like I'm an idiot, and the AI makes me able to do the idiot stuff easy.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely great use cases for it, and it is going to replace so many people's jobs. Like, they've been telling people. I don't think people really are grasping this, but like, again, the mindset of giant corporations. Their whole thing is to maximize profit, and they are happy to do so if that means cutting their workforce in half. They don't give a shit about their employees, like at all.
Yeah. Well,
at all.
I totally agree with that, and I think the biggest thing that made me mad with like the whole H-1B debate, because I'm in an affected field. I don't want to give too much away, but I'm in an affected field, and it actually was kind of discouraging when I was coming up, because my brain works a little differently, so I didn't really go through school, but I got where I'm at through my own way. But I went and applied to a bunch of places and got nothing. Not even like I want to be your monkey equivalent of like picking up feces from the elephants, just so I can get in the door.
And they were just
and didn't get anything.
Nothing.
Yeah, and then I hear all these people are being brought in. I'm like, I'm right here. I'm right here. I was born here. Why is there so much success for people coming in? I'm right here. Just give me a call back.
Right. And you're like, I'll work for these depressed wages, and even still no.
Yeah, like I just want to get in. Let me prove myself. And it's like, no.
You sound like a white guy. Safe to say.
Do not redeem.
Do not redeem. Right. Nice. But yeah. Like again, it's like that was a part of it, and hopefully we're past that part. And it seems like a lot of corporations are at least being like, we're not doing that anymore. And for them to not do that, like the big ones gives license for smaller ones to say, look, we're not doing that anymore. Like Microsoft's not doing that. Apple's not doing that. Meta's not doing that. We're not doing this anymore.
Well, we'll see, because they're just doing this big, 500 billion data center in Texas. And it's like, who's going to be filling those jobs up? I wonder. But where I was kind of going is like if we were like a healthy nation, we'd have the billionaires being like if you're in your friends group and when one of your friends gets successful, and there's obviously that dynamic where you got crabs in the pot, and like there's the friends that are like just trying to take from the successful guy, but generally it's like your friend's going to try and like put a good word in for like your small community, your small family,
for sure,
right? So it really should be expanded to the billionaires, where they're like, I want the people of my team, the country, to like do good.
Yeah.
But we've gotten to this point where it's just billionaires putting dollars over, family. I mean, look at their children. Their children are frequently like, acting out against daddy and Antifa with their like $600 Gucci boots.
Sure.
But we've got like the health insurance people who should be like, oh, my grandmother is sick, I want to take care of her. Oh, my neighbor is sick, I want to take care. Oh, the guy down the street is sick, I want to take care of her because I'm in a position to. But they want to just squeeze us like a rock until the last drop of blood comes out.
Yeah.
And so I just think like the what is it? The incentive is poisoned. And I don't think that there's going to be a change in that unless somehow Trump is like putting a gun to their heads and saying, look, you selfish MFers, we're going to change how we do business.
Yeah. I mean, the problem
with AI.
Yeah. Well, the AI thing
let me tie up my little thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think AI is going to be, this is why I wanted to take it back. So here's the bow on it. I think post AI, it's going to be a post-work world. It's not going to be a UBI. It's going to be something that we can't even imagine, that is going to completely revolutionize the relationship between like human and like having your needs met. But the transition between what we have now with that poison in that world that I can't even describe because it's just more complex than we can conceptualize, there's going to be gallons of blood spilled, I think.
Yeah. I mean, look, the main issue that you're saying, which is essentially all these public companies, they're beholden to their shareholders, and their whole thing is they have to make the number go up. And the only way the number can go up is either you make more revenues or you make more profits. And they can do that like an insurance company is they go, we pay less claims, we have less employees. Like there's only so many ways to really like massage that to make your stock price go up, which is they're like when you become a CEO of a corporation, that is like your objective is just make the stock price go up. That's it. And that's why they behave this way, where it seems like they're completely callous because they're like, yeah, I have one objective. It's not like if I'm a health insurance objective or CEO, it's not to make people's lives better. It's to make this fucking number go up. That's it. Right. And so, yeah, the AI thing will help them make the number go up because they're going to be like, we don't need half these employees. I think it was JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs said last week, they're like, they just were able with AI to do in minutes for like, I think like IPO deals or whatever. They're like, in minutes, this AI thing can now do what it took like several guys to work on around the clock for 3 weeks. And this AI thing can get it literally 95% completed, and then they just need like human intervention for the final 5%. They're not, so maybe someone's such a genius where they're like, we find new jobs for these people, but realistically, they're just like, we don't need you. Number goes up, less people, and those people are just like unemployed. It's just massive unemployment. So I agree with you on this, that it's not, it's probably not looking good. Anyways, I gotta let you go. Thank you for calling in, Ben, though. Oh, boy.
Yep. Good to talk to you, Dave. Bye.
Yeah, later, Ben. Oh, that's that good shit right there. Ben, everybody. Shit's looking dark. All right. Guys, if you're on the line, we will get to you. There's a lot of people here waiting, and we will get to you. Okay. Ooh, that one hurt. You know when you have one of those coughs, it like feels good, but it's just like feels like you're scratching the inside of your chest. Just the inside of your lungs, just like dragging your nails on it. That's what it felt like. Oh, whoops. I thought I pressed unmute here. Please unmute yourself when I request it. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in again. Support the show, patreon.com/lowvaluemail. I will be giving one of you super chatters. I got a little spinning wheel and everything to pick it. All right, you're not picking up. Let's move on here. Please unmute yourself. This is bad radio. Guys, what is your fucking shit's not working? Nobody's unmuting themselves now all of a sudden, huh? That's how you want to do this? You just want to make me look like an idiot, huh? That's what you want to do. Okay. All right. Well, let's try somebody else here. Let's try somebody else. Oh, here we go.
Danny.
Yo, Steve. What's
Danny.
up, man?
Danny, how are you doing, man? It's good to.
Yeah.
It's you know what? I caught the beginning of that, man. I was sorry to hear about your grandma, man. I didn't.
Oh yeah,
know about that
It was like 6 or 7 months ago.
It was Ian had his first son, and that was a compromise I had to make. I wasn't allowed to see him unless I got the 2 jabs that we had to get in Canada here.
Yeah,
that was my moral compromise. But you know, I can understand. We all had to make that decision. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't harm me because I got to see the guy that proud moment that he had.
Yeah, seeing your nephew and stuff. I mean, it sucks. Obviously, it sucks, but
well, with the components, right? It's
look, life is a series of trade-offs. Everything is a trade-off that you have to make, and you can. And I'm sure there are countless people who are just like, yeah, fuck my grandmother. I'm not taking that shit. And that's the choice you made.
No, and you're bringing the economics, like the cost benefit analysis of it. I get that. It just seems so like obtuse to put people in that situation. To have people fired from their jobs, and the church is shutting down. Like I was in Canada during all this, man. The neighbors calling on other people, for not for having too many people over Thanksgiving. Like
yeah,
it was just. And not that I don't want people to no vitriol, but like they can't be memory holing this shit. Like they have to
don't
know what
don't fucking pretend like you didn't do that. That's for sure.
Yeah, like you can't believe you did this draconian shit. Like they almost got OSHA through. That was the one that I was really impressed with, that OSHA, because that's like a like CSA in Canada would be like, it's just like a legal body, but it would have mass overreach where it would be everybody. That he would have been able to push that through, and not just, we had Trudeau to the truckers here, which the Emergencies Act for guys, for a group of yahoos honking their horns, seems a little extreme, but
Yeah, shutting
who
down
knows?
people's
No,
bank accounts, all that shit, man.
Like that, like isn't that? I don't understand. I want to be madder at the left, because it's been, as a Trump supporter. I remember I called in years ago saying, "Am I allowed to say I like Donald Trump?" When, like you said, there was, I would say 2 years ago, I wasn't allowed to say these things.
Oh, especially in Canada, man. Whew.
Oh, I was banned from everything, and then, like you said, it was like the how they make you feel. Oh, you're not being polite to the pronouns. Like, David Ritchie almost lost his job at CIBC because he wouldn't put his pronouns in his.
There you go. Oh, I remember him from high school. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, it was one of those, like, do I lose my job and my family, and my livelihood for my?
Yeah, because you're like, this pronoun shit's stupid. I'm like, obviously a guy. I remember him. Like, he would never be mistaken for not a guy.
No, but it was the moral conundrum of, do I sacrifice my morals because I know that I know in my heart this is wrong. Like, I know this is stupid, and they're forcing us to do it for their like, it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't helping anybody out. Nobody was faking that. Like, and I miss Ellen Page. I liked her old movies. Like, when you started with, like, the dead naming and all that nonsense, and how they would make up new terms and then expect us to just know what they were, accept them, and then that be a part of our new delusion that we have to share with them. Like,
again, Ellen Page, like, I don't think about Ellen. You want to fucking, like, you're just like a Hollywood actor. You want to cut your tits off? Like, I don't give a shit. Go ahead.
You were kind of hot. You were hot. You were doing well. You were like, you were moving your,
like, sure.
You're moving your help.
Do whatever you want. It's like, again, like, I was very much just like, do whatever you want. I don't care. It's not my business. It's not my business.
But I like the Jordan Peterson. Sure, that's very fair. It was like, with the gays before, no one ever cared about it. But if you're going to put it on the front of GQ with your abs sticking out, then yes, that's going to affect a group of very vulnerable kids who are, like you said, they're like the emo or goth kids of our era. Like, they'll grow out of it. Like, nobody's non-binary. Nobody's one of these terms. Like, there was one of these forums where they had, like, there was like, what was it? Like, I refuse to identify my gender. Like, and I have to say, as a Canadian man, I'm glad we have that maid service here, because, like, some of those people who called in, like, I don't care if it's chat, roast me, man. They're fucking, those are some more, like,
a pro maid.
Oh, dude, no. Like, he's like, yo, what do you think about Kanye West? Like, dude, what do you mean? He said some crazy ass shit about the Jews, and now he's not allowed back in. What did you think happened? Like, what'd you expect the man to say? Like,
well, I've that's the first pro-maid argument I've heard for the medical assisted dying.
You know what? I might just pick them up on that. I might just have enough of that. Cause it's just what these people think, man. Like, that's
dude,
kind of what I've got.
I've said this before. I know personally 3 Canadian comedians, females, who, like, were all in kind of my circle, who all had mastectomies. And I'm just like, if you just think about what the odds of that are, it's in any other decade, absolutely astronomical. Like, I know 100 female comedians in Canada, 3 of them had mastectomies, like, voluntary. Like, do you know what, like, the probabilities of that are in any other scenario? It's, like, impossible.
Well, it's like the trans kids thing. It's like when someone's like, well, I have a trans and a non-binary. Do you know what the odds are of something like that, of this brand new thing that's, like, never been around? Like, do you remember that guy in Guelph, I forget, he used to beat up guy. He wore dress. He was like, we called it was chicks with dicks, or, it was like, but he used to beat up the guys. He used to give him a hard time. It was funny. But, like, that's how the dude wanted to dress. It was cross-dressing. Like, it was transsexual, wasn't? Like, I didn't understand when they brought that into it, because, like, to me, I've always understood gay. Absolutely. I'm a guy. I like to have sex. I just like women because they're beautiful to me. Women, if you like women too, I get it. Women are they're the most beautiful creatures on the planet. Without a penis, I don't see how you can really do much. And a guy who's bi is basically gay. If you put a dick in your mouth, you're kind of at the point of no return. But that's but you can't bring a T into that and then make those people, like, it's almost like they should have had, like, a divorce before all this nonsense happened. Like the regular.
Yeah.
Like the regular.
I mean, again,
days.
it's like you want to be trans, be trans. I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't involve me.
But I'm not living in your delusion, and then whatever you wanted to say, some sort of hate crime for like misgendering you. You just changed. Like how was I supposed to know? Like
yeah,
I'm not keeping up with
and
your
you're not even
made-up rules.
passing.
No, no, that's why I actually got to meet Blair White when she came to Toronto. Like she did like a meet and greet. She's absolutely amazing. Met her fiance. Like I honestly understood because I did a deep dive when the Leah Thomas thing happened because I wasn't okay with that. I didn't understand like that's a 6'4" dude who was last as a man who's now competing as a girl because of feelings.
Yeah.
And we're not allowed to say anything because of feelings. It didn't suit, so I had to learn, at least enough to know that like, okay, if there's something, if gender dysphoria is something, I can understand that. But
it's just a mental illness. And like, I've said this before, but like women literally love glorifying mental illness. Like that's become a thing where women are like, oh, you have that's so sick that like you have anxiety or whatever. Like, you should be proud of your mental illness. Nothing wrong with having a mental illness. And then when it's trans, they're just like, that's not a mental illness. They're like, that's not a mental illness. And you're like, but you like all the other ones?
No, what's the Bill Burr? He's like, I know what's wrong with the world, but I'm pretty sure white women did it. Those like, I do have a theory about the hot girls who like hit the wall and then they basically age out and they get angry that the world isn't as kind to them anymore because they're not as hot anymore. And then by the time they get to that point, they don't have children. So whatever sort of cause or whatever they latch onto, it's like their child. So they they try to protect these things, like protect trans kids. Like who's a trans kid? Like I've never met a trans kid. I used to do camp counseling. I knew kids were gay before they knew they were gay.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a sexuality thing. You just were a little flaming.
Yeah, you were just like a girl. You were like kid. But you were like a tomboy, but a lot of those tomboy girls ended up just being straight. Woo! But all those gay kids, all the gay boys ended up being gay.
We all knew that. But like there was nothing wrong with that. Like that was the thing. It was fine. It wasn't. You didn't make me accept that as long as you didn't like hit on us. Like we were cool. Like, but like, sure, you want to like save all your taxes and like get his inheritance and, but I did have an issue with, cause I have, did I tell you I'm doing the seminary stuff? I've taken a clip.
Yeah, so I gotta wrap this up though. I got a lot of other callers, so just give a.
It's all good, Danny. I'll be a regular time caller. It's good to talk to you, man. Thanks for having me on. I'll call back again. Just don't make me wait an hour with that nonsense, or I'm going to use me.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. All right. There's a lot of callers. A lot of callers tonight.
Take care, man.
All right, Steve from went to high school together, actually. Okay, let's take another caller. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the show. Please, if I ask to unmute you, unmute yourself. Elmer, what's up, man?
Hey, what's happening, Danny?
How are you?
I just want to say I've been listening to Boy Scouts. I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I've been listening to Boy Scouts for a long time.
Let's
go. I just want to say you've been on fire lately.
Thank you.
With the AI stuff. And, it seems like ever since you got married, you've just been on a hot streak. You're bros with Jake Tapper now.
Yeah. Oh, man, don't. Fuck, I hope my wife isn't listening because she's going to take credit for this.
Well, she should. You're a better man now.
Go ahead.
Anyway, how long are you just going to carry Ryan? I mean, honestly, can we all be honest? But,
man, we're a team, man.
It's turning into a thing. I know. I mean, you can teach him how to get a proper haircut, maybe up his game a little bit. I saw him in Tacoma here in Washington State. I'm not from Seattle. Don't tell people that.
Yeah. No, I mean, no, Ryan's a man, dude. Ryan is literally a unstoppable force in comedy.
No, he is very funny.
No, Ryan's a man.
He is very funny. Just want to say that the AI stuff has been hot lately. It's
Thank you. There'll be more. I'll have more disinformation coming up. I promise.
Dude, my friend's friend told me that Trump was going to basically send all the gays to Canada because Canada is basically gay and didn't just call it gay North Dakota.
Gay North Dakota. Oh, I hope he doesn't do that. I still have love in my heart for Canada. I hope they can fucking right that ship.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add, man?
Anyway, Not really, man. I just want to give you a quick shout out. Said you've
Cool.
been on fire lately, and keep it up, dude. Loving it.
Thanks, Bob. Later, dude. Okay, let's take. We got exactly enough callers to make it to the end here. All right. Okay, well, I tried to unmute this guy, and we'll get to you. If you're on hold, I will get to you. Some of you, it's just it gets all jumbled, so I don't know what order you guys call in. Hello, Birkin.
Hello.
What's up?
This is Birkin. I just wanted to chat about the COVID situation.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, you know Brett Weinstein?
Of course.
I listen to him a lot, and I talk with him on. He's like a monthly thing where you can talk with him personally online. So I've been doing that a little bit, and basically the vaccine, the spike protein, like the mRNA. That's a single-stranded helix of it's half of a DNA strand, and it creates a protein, and the protein that it creates is the spike protein. The spike protein is cytotoxic, which means it destroys. It kills cells. So the spike protein alone kills cells, but then the thing when you get some of the mRNA in your cell, there's a small amount of it that pokes out of the cell wall, and that shows your body that cell is infected by like a virus particle, and so your immune system attacks those cells that your body has detected have the mRNA stuff in it.
Okay.
So there's that. So the thing is, when they didn't aspirate the needle, so you're supposed to push the needle in a little bit and then pull it out a little bit.
Yeah, to draw some blood back.
To make sure that you're not injecting it directly into a blood vein.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But like the COVID protocol things that told nurses not to do that because it theoretically takes like an extra half a second, and so maybe people would have it would hurt like a little bit more or something, or
and people would probably see the blood, and they wouldn't be inclined to do it a second time.
But then I think that's kind of like a fake reason, because that's crazy, because now you're running the risk of putting this stuff directly into the bloodstream, which is what did happen in some cases.
Right. I mean, I'd be interested, because there's people who are still taking the COVID vaccine, like people
crazy.
I'm not talking about 80-year-olds, right? Like there's people these hardcore like Taylor Lorenz types who are, on their and I'm not even saying this as like a joke. They're on their 9th booster. So surely we must have a large enough sample size of healthy young individuals, young enough, under 60, who have taken 9 of these fucking shots to kind of have an idea of the danger of them, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes, definitely. Yeah. So it's pretty, and it is pretty clear. I almost think that's my conspiracy theory is that this is what the healthcare CEO was maybe killed over, is because
the Luigi thing.
Because the health insurance industry has to know the data. They all have the data. They can all run the data sets of who got vaccinated and who's now dead against each other.
Yeah.
So they would have to know. And especially life insurance policies, guys in their 40s are killing over at a rate that's 3 or 5 times more than normal. And so life insurance policies data also.
That I feel would actually be the answer to this entire thing is if you, as a 40-year-old man who has 9 booster shots, if you went to get a life insurance policy starting today, would your premiums be higher than somebody who didn't get it? My guess would be no, actually. Which would lead me to believe that there actually isn't a significant issue that they at least know of, and if there was one, they would know that there is, and they just haven't modeled that out.
I think there's just going to be
because if you smoke, it's like if you have all these other things, they're like, yeah, your health insurance premiums. They're like, yeah. You're going to die sooner. It costs more money, and for whatever reason, my thoughts are, because I haven't heard anything about this. I feel like we would know, like, just it would be in the public domain at this point that you're like, yeah, if you got 9 booster shots, your life insurance premiums are doubled, and then instantly you'd be like, yeah, it's bad. But I don't think that's the case.
I think they're going to have to just keep telling themselves the lie until they all go bankrupt.
But I don't think that health insurance companies would keep up these lies at their own detriment. Because they don't work in concert with pharma companies. Like, if there was something, they're like, we're a life insurance company. We're not in the business of just losing money to maintain some government lie. Unless you're saying the conspiracy reaches so high that these health insurance, but again, these are like publicly traded companies. Like, you'd have to basically say, like, these conspiracies run so deep that they're essentially being told, like, look, don't worry if all your, like, don't up their premiums if they've had 9 COVID boosters. And if they all start dropping dead like flies and you become insolvent, just like wink, wink, we'll bail you out. That seems like a crazy conspiracy. That seems like an unbelievable conspiracy to me, personally.
Well, then I think, then I think that premiums will start to go up.
Yeah,
I think that there's like
possible. We are still pretty early in this. Like, we could be having this conversation in 5 years, and it's a totally different conversation.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, and then so there is there's like the different batches have different levels of toxicity and like virulence, or like how much they kill you.
Yeah.
Like there's another guy saying that. So that's definitely. I've heard the same thing as well. There's a website called How Bad Is My Batch that you can go and check out how bad your batch was.
Oh shit! I think I still have my. Maybe I just threw out my vaccine card. I think I still have it somewhere. I think I could find it.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
You know what? When I get home, I'm gonna go see if I can find it, and I'm gonna go check my batch.
You should. Yeah.
Maybe I got a good batch.
It sounds like you did. You said you only had like a little bit of soreness in your arm for a little bit, and so that's hopeful. But then, okay, I got maybe 2 or 3 more kind of medium-sized things. I'll try to be quick.
Try to be quick because we got a bunch of other callers waiting.
So you can go to COVID-19 criticalcare.com, and they're like that's like an actual doctor website with Pierre Corey and Robert Malone and a bunch of other guys, and they actually prescribe. There's tons of medications that you can take to stop the spike protein from hurting you.
How long does it stay? How long do you have, like, after taking your first, like would I need to take this even though I took it 4 years ago or 5 years ago or whatever? Like, is it still in my system?
It sounds like you probably, if you did actually get the actual stuff, which it sounds like you maybe didn't, but if you did, for those people who did, it stays in your system indefinitely because they changed so in an mRNA molecule, it's adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine and uracil, but
okay,
genetic engineering thing, and they changed all of the uracils to something called a pseudouridine molecule, which makes it so that your body can't naturally destroy the mRNA molecules, because your body has a bunch of enzymes which naturally destroy mRNA molecules, but they changed the physical atomic structure of these mRNAs so that your body's enzymes won't be able to destroy it.
Huh.
So it'll just keep replicating itself and producing spike protein indefinitely.
And then if you take this thing, you can basically just kill it?
Yeah. There's a couple chemical compounds that destroy the spike protein. The spike protein is what unlocks your cell wall, to let the rest of the virus, to let the rest of the mRNA stuff in. So the spike protein is like a key to your cell wall. So if you destroy the spike protein is like on the outside of the
cell wall,
viral particle of the mRNA. So if you destroy the spike proteins, then the rest of it can't get into your cells. But the thing, the very last thing I have to say is that the spike protein permanently unlocks the ACE2 receptor, which is a receptor site that all mammal cells have, and it just holds it open. It just permanently unlocks it, and then any other tons of other coronaviruses can get in through that receptor site on the cell. So like the common cold and like the regular flu and all that stuff can easily get in.
Maybe that's why I've been sick twice in the last month.
Maybe.
Because I've had an identical illness twice in the last month, which is so weird. Because I normally think you're like, you get it and then you go, I've built up some immunity to it. But I'm like, they were like the exact same thing twice in 1 month, and I hadn't been sick previously in years.
Oh well, then that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll check that out though. I gotta let you go though. We got some more calls, but appreciate you calling in. Thanks, man.
All right. Yeah.
Take care. All right, let's get to Slav here. He's been waiting patiently, very patiently. Slav, what's up?
Hey, I'm liking the good news, man.
What's that? Oh, all the Trump stuff? I bet, man.
Okay. The White House website.
Yeah.
Only in English. The Spanish gone. Twitter,
what?
Spanish
I
gone.
thought Spanish is the official second language. They got rid of Spanish.
Bro, bro, you know what my new Viagra is? You saw that illegal alien bitch crying in Juarez because her app got deleted at high noon?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, bro. I nearly burst my jeans, dog.
Honestly, by the way, isn't it so funny? You're like, wait, you guys could just have turned off this app the whole time?
Oh, no.
You're like, that was the solution, again, is just like disabling an app. It took
TikTok
Danny, 4 seconds.
Danny, this is the great replacement reality. The Kalergi plan, the cloud proven strategy. Yeah. We knew this all along, and you guys try to resist our words. So, I mean, dude, you know what? You asked for names for the Panama Canal. You know what? Let's be fun. Let's be jovial. You know, Trump got casinos, golf courses. Let's make it Margaritaville. Let's call it the Banana Canal, just for funsies.
Sure.
You know?
I mean, that's a good name.
Yeah, you guys are talking about birthright. Yeah, we need to be ending that shit because
they're not ending it. They're not ending it.
Nah, there's got to be something where
it's 14th Amendment. It's in the Constitution.
I feel like it's soulless. No. But here's the thing, Danny. It's the time. Remember they were talking about like all these people who were like, no guns. They're like, well, they only had muskets back then. It's like, okay, well, women couldn't vote back then, and
as
also
it should have been
birthright. And also, you know what? There's silence in the women who don't want to. Okay, Tim Dillon literally said, he quoted somebody, if young people and women feel the need to be involved in politics, something is wrong. They need to be enjoying their young lives and just being spoiled women. That's it.
Sure.
Like that's what a good nation is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no,
that
we
makes
need.
sense.
No. But I see anchor babies as a soulless creation because it's like you brought life on Earth just so you don't get deported, and you're going to hold them as hostage.
Well, those are two different things as far as I understand.
No, it's the same thing.
Well,
they literally.
But you can still deport the parents. Obviously, now there's
No, deport them together. They can learn. They can learn the language.
Yeah.
They live in that house.
But we're not talking about that. We're just saying if you're born on the United States soil, then you're an American.
Too bad.
I understand
No.
I understand your feelings on this. I'm just saying this is in the Constitution, and I could be wrong, but I don't think Trump's going to be successful.
Was written. That Constitution. So,
but you won't accept. But you won't accept the Constitution was written argument for the second.
No. So what is it? The thing with the naturalization, it was written for the sole purpose of what I like, and everyone who supports birthright doesn't like, for manifest destiny. We need to spread the great white seed across the plains and mountains of America.
Yeah.
That was what birthright citizenship was for. It's the same way if you want to,
yeah, but wasn't the Second Amendment to defend against government tyranny and not just like
actually,
have fun
if you look
fucking
up
shooting clays?
What is it? John Stewartstein, that comedian. Yeah, back
John
in the
Leibowitz?
day when he had his John Leibowitz, when he had his show, like he literally went super autistic on reading the Second Amendment. And it's like, yeah, your militia is your own militia on your own militia. So he tried to equate it to like your gun can have a gun on its own gun. And lo and behold, it's like, yeah, that's called an underbarrel, like in grenade launcher or a slam keys. You know.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
But yeah, so the birthright, we gotta change all that stuff. And honestly, like I don't care. And also ask them, do you consider unborn fetuses as anchor babies? I mean, which crowd is going to hop on that? That's what I'm saying.
Sure. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what Trump's doing. I just don't think this one he's going to be successful, but maybe he will.
Dude,
I'm open to be proven wrong. I'm open to be proven wrong.
Yeah, he had fun, whatever, watched it. I mean, look, all this J6 stuff, I could care less. It's not that I could care less. It's just that I will say, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. In 1954, a whole pack of Puerto Ricans bust into the Congress building, ran up to the second floor on the ladies' balcony, that's what it was called at the time,
yep,
and fired loaded handguns into an ongoing session of Congress in 1954 and hit 5 of them. So I don't want to hear about
what happened to
I
them?
knew that I learned. It doesn't matter. Like I don't want to, like my mind can't comprehend. There are these violent Puerto Rican criminals firing.
They're Americans.
Handguns. They're Puerto Ricans.
But they're Americans once they get on American. Once they get in the 50.
They shot American congressmen because they wanted separation in their own nation.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, but 5 people got hit by loaded handguns, and on J6, a black police officer shot a white woman in the neck, who was barely 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
and a veteran,
yeah, and then,
I believe.
Dude, 6 Capitol Hill police officers committed suicide within like 3 weeks afterwards.
Yeah, that is
most
weird.
of them
that
being
is a weird
minorities.
One. Yeah, that is a weird.
Yeah.
That is a weird little element of the story, though.
But yeah, and then what is it? The last one, y'all were talking about all these about Jews and shit. So
it's always the Jews.
I've solidified my thing on the Jews.
Okay.
They've got one option between the two.
Okay.
Either they can complain about anti-Semitism, or the state of Israel exists, because the state of Israel was created to what? Be a refuge for what they call the greatest anti-Semitic event ever, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like, if you're complaining about anti-Semitism, You can either, one, go find refuge in your state of, belonging, or two, I don't know, change your behavior. So
Hey,
you no
let me
longer
tell you
repeat
what,
that.
Slav. If your idea right here is to try and get Jews to complain less, good luck, man. Good luck.
Yeah, no.
Good luck,
I
man.
don't care about the complaining. All I'm saying is
I do.
they can have one or the other.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
mean,
it's
did you
like
see the
you can have-
ADL? Dude, did you see the ADL's tweet about Elon Musk's fake Hitler salute thing or whatever? And the ADL was literally like, hey, everybody, let's not rush to judgment. Like, they're just trying to just memory hole the last 8 years because they see the tide turning. And they're like, everybody, let's not rush to judgment. It wasn't a Hitler salute. And you're like, what?
I mean, this is why I call people from salsa countries still Latinx.
Did you say them call them
And they
salsa
hate it.
countries?
Yeah, all these, rice and beans people. Yeah, I call them Latinx. Yeah, because it's not marked as hate speech, and I know they hate it.
Yeah, they do hate it.
And yeah, I know.
Oh,
So,
man, they hate
you're
it
either
now,
gonna complain
especially.
that-
Dude, now you'll get some real mileage on that because they really hate
Oh,
it.
no. But my thing is the ADL, the Jews, control what is considered hate speech and not hate speech.
Not anymore, they don't.
So-
They've been defanged. Nobody listens to them.
Wait, is hate speech free now?
Is it free? I mean,
Yeah, like-
the term has just been, it's just like calling someone racist or homophobic. It's meaningless. It's
Yeah.
just- yeah.
Well,
it's just
I'm
not-
gonna end off on this. I'm reporting as many illegals as I can, and that's gonna be paying my rent.
I heard that they stopped doing that last year. I keep seeing that everywhere, but then there keeps getting community noted saying
Danny,
they're
in
not paying.
Missouri, they're trying to pass a bill where people can be bounty hunters.
For,
Where you can, dude, have you ever chased a person in real life? Have you ever ran after a person?
No.
To try to tackle them?
I mean, in like
dude,
playing
it's
football.
fun.
Playing football, maybe.
No, but that's
I mean,
fun, right? Yeah.
Hey, man, have
Yeah,
fun
now-
however you like. But
now
in New
imagine-
York City, the people who you're talking about chasing are all the people lighting people on fire and fucking slashing their faces.
Dude, you're
So
a big
good
guy.
luck.
Dude, you're big. Just
I'm good.
Dude,
I'm
Good.
good.
Well-
I'm gonna leave the fun for you guys. I'm good. All right, Slav.
Well, I mean, look, you want your citizenship? You want to expedite your citizenship? Trying to wrangle in a few of those kids. You can just grab them by the ankles and drag them down.
I'll get one of those
Ain't that hard.
I'll grab one of those dog catcher batons with the little wire on the end of it.
Dude, yes, dude, that's what I've always said. Like, if there's don't send the tasers, don't send what is it? Social workers, just grab one of those dog nooses.
Yeah,
that stuff works the best. And dude, honestly, I hope that these deportations are heavily televised.
Yeah,
all over the world. I hope they are heartless.
I mean, I got
soulless.
bad news for you. I don't think they're going to do as many as you think. I don't even think they're going to get
children crying. I hope they make it look as brutal as. I hope there's several Rodney Kings in daylight with these illegal alien captures.
You're a heartless man, but yeah, I got bad news for you. They're not even going to get the 1.4 million who have active deportation orders. So don't get your hopes up too high.
Make them speak English at gunpoint.
Yeah,
God damn it.
I mean, there's a lot of people who can't. All right, Slav, I got to let you go. Thanks, man. Slav, everybody. All right, we got a few more calls. Then we're going to announce the winner of the Patreon subscription. Okay, this guy just can't figure out how to pick up the phone for some reason. Oh, here we go. Got
Danny.
it. Yo, what's up, man?
You good?
Yeah.
What's
how are
up,
you?
buddy? I'm good, man. We got some good calls tonight.
Yeah, it's a
it's
fun
very,
one.
very, very interesting. Hey, I wanted to put something out there for somebody, just a website for everybody to go to, if it's like their local thing.
Okay.
It's called gunmemorial.org.
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 Yeah.
Org. Yeah, everybody can check out their local shootings.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting.
Like in
Anyways, I wanted to talk to you
your
about-
city?
Yeah, you can put your town anywhere where your grandparents live, and it has a backlog of everybody that's been murdered with a gun.
Murder
and then it has
or
links to the-
suicides?
Just murder.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, because when they say the gun violence in this country, it's like most of them are suicides.
Yeah, no, this is strictly
National Gun Violence Memorial. 143,360 gun violence victims and counting. Click a victim to learn.
Right, but go to gunmemorial.org.
Yeah, I'm on the website right now.
Not national gunmemorial.org.
It's not
gunmemorial.org.
Gunmemorial.org. It's sorry. There's a link to the National Gun Memorial Violence Memorial. Sorry, at the top.
Okay. So yeah, you can search like all your local areas, and it just like shows you kind of what's going on, and it links to the news stories, which is kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
So everybody can kind of be aware of what's going on in their area. That's all.
Okay, cool.
Anyways, I thought we could talk some that executive order on that cartel.
Yeah, that's a very interesting one, that designating them as terrorists. Yeah, because that gives the Americans the opportunity to like basically put boots on the ground in Mexico.
Right, yeah, like special forces and
I mean,
SEALs and stuff.
you can
yeah.
literally
yeah. Well, like any business, there's a hierarchy. So the more specialized people will go after the big dogs. But I mean, there's a lot of like stuff that like people don't see. Like they're catching all the voices in the air and doing analysis on them all the time. And they do a lot of like interstate trafficking. They monitor all the currency that's going back and forth. That's like a big thing. And with the geofencing thing, it makes it kind of easy. And if anybody's paying attention, they took that Telegram down. I don't know if anybody was on there doing a hustle or, the man was on there, their plug. But, I mean, they've captured that. So... and people still post on it. So,
what was the Telegram?
It
was like a cartel Telegram?
No, Telegram. The guy was French, and I believe he got caught in Russia or France or something like that.
No. You're saying Pavel Durov, the guy who started Telegram, and he got arrested in Paris.
Yes, but people were still using it because you have to think.
Telegram didn't go anywhere. It was just the French government was trying to make him give them a back door.
Well, we can argue that they can ask or just tell him, hey, we're going to make a back door.
I don't know. Like maybe the French people.
You see what I'm saying? Well, I mean, if you look into the cases like into the Netherlands and stuff like that, there's a bunch of clone phones. Clone phones, like back in the 90s, you could get the like a StarTac, the first Motorola flip phones and stuff like that. When they were analog, you had guys, that would be part of your organization, but their job was to go catch numbers at the airport and clone phones.
Yeah.
So they would clone these phones and then you go buy them for $100. And as soon as like you couldn't use it anymore, then you just go buy another one for $100.
And it was like basically the bill was connected to somebody else though.
Yeah, but you can't do it anymore once they turn digital. But I mean, everything evolves and there's other ways to do things.
Right.
But my kind of point with the cartels is by designating them terrorists, that makes anybody in the United States that's connected to that.
Oh yeah,
is going to be charged with terrorism charges. And I don't know if people realize like what that means and like how they're going to come down on people for that.
I mean, I think that
I just think it's really.
I think like the bigger thing here is, the Mexican government is essentially like, our military can barely deal with these cartels because they're so heavily armed. But you're like, I'll tell you what, military can deal with them, the United States. And if the military is not spread out all over the world fighting these fucking pointless wars that doesn't affect them, you're like, the U.S. military could go do some real fucking damage to these cartels, like serious.
Yeah, and that's what.
But it requires them to invade Mexico, right?
It does, but once you designate,
it allows you to do. It allows you to do that. That's the thing.
Exactly.
The American military can now go into Mexico and saying like, "Yo, there's terrorists, and we're gonna fucking snuff them out." And this isn't an invasion.
They know who. They know, like, they already know a bunch of who they are, where they are, their habits, and all that stuff. I mean, they've been tracking these people for years.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, one of my parents worked for don't know if I can really say it. It was an intelligence center. But that's what they used to do, is monitor the voices and do like voice analysis from like South America.
Yeah.
All the things, and then tracking everything. You know, and all that stuff that's going on in like Northern California with the Chinese and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you know about that, but that's like another
Chinese
thing.
with
But
like fentanyl
I
labs
think,
and stuff.
no, you didn't know, like the Emerald Triangle is like kind of getting taken over by the Chinese.
And what are they doing there though?
You haven't heard about that?
No.
They're growing weed.
Oh, they're growing weed. Oh yeah, I have heard about that. That they're growing weed. Yeah.
Yeah, on these massive, massive scale.
Yeah. I don't know if the weed business is that profitable anymore, to be honest.
Well, I mean, volume's everything.
Right.
You know, if you're just trying to pay your rent, yeah, it's probably not too great. But I mean, if that's your full-time job,
yeah,
you can make money.
You're paying, crazy low
yeah,
wages. I guess.
Yeah, because you're getting stuff in bulk like every time, and like most of the time they want to, whatever you can pay for, they want to give you the same amount just on the front.
Right.
So it's like they want people to be heavy, and they like, you know, push people, you know, to their limits of what they can do. But anyways, it's just going to be a real interesting dynamic, you know, the next like 6 months.
Yeah.
I'd really pay attention to, like, you know, the cartels inside the United States and stuff. It's going to get wild.
I mean, again, like Trump's starting. Yeah, man. You too.
Oh yeah, dude, Trump. I'm so pumped about that, dude. I watched the inauguration. I watched him do all the executive orders. I mean,
but what I was saying is he's starting shit with Mexico, like trade related with, like, you know, tariffs. Same with Canada. Basically saying there's gonna be tariffs as of February 1st, which is, you know, 10 days from now. But like, you know, that's a pretense where he can essentially, you know, dealing with the cartels and stuff. It's, you know, there'll be some interesting shit going on. That's for sure. He's fucking stirring.
Yeah,
shit
because
up.
the cartels own a lot of the industry now down there.
Oh yeah.
You know, like they own the construction companies, they own the avocado companies.
Yeah.
I mean, they own a lot of stuff, you know, in the dark, and you know, the Mexican government kind of has to operate with them.
Yeah, I mean,
so yeah, it's going to be really
kill all the fucking politicians. It's like,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you pay attention to it, or if you look into it, it is insane.
Yeah, I mean, go check out.
Insane, but once you
yeah, go ahead.
Once you go below Mexico City, though, it's chill.
It's chill, yeah.
They don't really fuck around too much.
Well, it's because it's not that close to the U.S. border, so it's probably just not as valuable.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, hopefully they can get some kind of control.
Yeah, man. All right, I gotta let you go.
But I'm gonna let you go, Dan.
Thanks, man.
Keep up the good work, man. I love the AI stuff.
Appreciate it, dude. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I was gonna say, go check out an old episode of Low Value Mail with Johan Grillo. He's a reporter who lives in, I believe, Mexico City, but he's British, but he covers all the cartels. It was a good episode. All right, 2 more calls, then we're gonna pick a winner, and then we're gonna wrap this up, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Hello.
Hey, Danny, it's Charlie from Florida. How you
Charlie from Florida. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How you doing? I've been on here for like an hour. I guess it's been busy tonight.
It's been busy tonight. It's been busy. Yeah.
A lot to talk about. Yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion on just a couple of things. So much stuff has happened, obviously, over the last week.
Tons.
What's your opinion on the first on the whole Elon stupid thing, and then on the lesbian preacher at the church?
The lesbian. I mean, I saw how pissed Trump was with the lesbian preacher, where he's like, did you like that? He's like, that was kind of what, I don't know what he said exactly, but he was kind of like, that was not very entertaining. That wasn't very good at all.
No.
But the lesbian preacher, because it was following his 2 genders thing, and then he had this like lesbian bishop who was essentially like, you know, you gotta take care of all the gay and trans, and Trump's just like sitting there having. Why did he have to go to that?
Yeah, way to kill the mood, right? He's just in church
seriously.
And, like,
whoever fucking put that on his schedule just got fired.
Oh,
yeah, he was
JD
hating.
Vance didn't look thrilled either.
Dude, all of them, they were just, all their facial expressions were just like, what the fuck? But yeah, I mean, the moment you have like, I mean, she looked like she was like this short-haired bishop, so probably a lesbian, and I don't know. It was maybe just one of those like preordained things that a new president has to do. They just go to this specific church. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's something that could be like a setup type thing, or that just happened to be.
Yeah, I don't know. And then with the Elon thing, I mean, Elon's just like autistic. I don't know. He obviously was not doing a Nazi salute. He was doing. Like, he was talking about like giving his heart, and I mean, just for autistic people, if you want to say you're giving your heart, you do it underhand. You go on your heart and you underhand it to people. You don't overhand it to people. It's underhand, because if your hand underhand, it looks like you're like giving it away, but he's just autistic, so he just was like really violently throwing it out there. It looked bad. I don't think it didn't look great, and Trump was like, "Fucking come on." Like I can't have one. I can't have one day without just like
conversation right after that happened.
Some person doing some dumb. Like it's like Tony Hinchcliffe all over again, where you're just like, I can't just like,
oh, thanks a lot.
I can't just do one thing without there just being this one stain on this for no reason whatsoever. Yeah. But anyways, if you're ever,
I was surprised that Tony Hinchcliffe didn't go to the inauguration.
He was there.
he
was there.
Oh, he was there?
Oh yeah, he was there. He was at the Ohio State game and the inauguration. He was at both of them.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a busy day yesterday. Yeah, he was all over the map.
And the other thing, the one last thing is did you see the Theo Vaughn thing where he fell down in the chair?
Yeah, like, they fucking broke his chair though. Dude, they like it was like the fucking Paul brothers. They literally like happened to turn their phone on and they go, "Oh, his chair's about to break." No, it's probably like those shitty folding chairs, and they just kind of like kicked it. And it's just chair. I mean, funny
he
gag.
Was posting after it. He's like, "Oh, thanks guys for doing that. You didn't have to. It could be a better place and time."
I know.
I don't know if he was serious or not.
No, I'm sure it's all just jokes. I'm sure the whole thing was all just jokes, but it was a funny gag. I will admit, like to be.
It is pretty entertaining. Yeah.
Presidential
That's
inauguration.
It, man. Well, have a good night.
Falling through your chair. Yeah, you too, man. All right.
All right, man. See you
later. All right, last call of the night, everybody. Surprisingly, not that bad with the coughing. Hello, Drew. What's up?
Hello?
You are the final caller of the evening. What's up, man?
Danny.
What's up, buddy?
Did nobody else chant Danny yet?
What's that?
Did nobody chant Danny?
Tap me?
Chant. Is my audio fucked up?
It's my thing's fucked up, so it's a little chant. No, nobody chanted that yet. Sorry, no, my thing, everybody sounds robotic to me tonight, so it's like a little muffled. I didn't hear that, but no, nobody's chanted that yet. You were the first and the last of the evening, at least.
Hell yeah! Well, shout out Connor Dog.
Yeah, shout out Connor.
Shout out all the dogs.
I agree. Shout out all the dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, Schmucker's dog. I know he's in the chat. Sumo's not in the chat, but
no, Sumo dog. All the dogs, man. Yeah, Connor's his leg's not doing so well actually right now, so we got to take him to fucking physical therapy, and he goes in.
But no, political show tonight, Danny.
Dude, he goes in
political show. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you can only do a political show right now.
It's super political, and I'm a hard issue guy, dude. I got one issue I want to talk about.
What is it?
Where the fuck are the PCP hamster videos?
PCP hamster videos? I don't know anything about this. They put hamsters on PCP?
Hold on. So you know about the Fauci drugging dogs and
the beagles
having flies eat their faces?
Yeah, the beagles. Don't like that.
But you don't know that apparently we spent $3 million. Which this is my contention. It's not that we did it. It's that we spent $3 million doing it.
That Americans all paid for this.
No, we paid. Apparently, we paid to have hamsters fed PCP and cocaine and heroin and fight to the death, Pokemon style. And then scientists watched it, and they didn't just figure we could just live stream this and make $1 gajillion and beat Mr. Beast in views.
Oh, you know what? That is a good point, actually, because they could have just in Superchats made back that $3 million.
But you way more than 3 million, Danny. They would have beat everything ever in the world. They would have broken the internet.
I know. And the fucked up part is
hamster fights.
The fucked up part
with
is
government scientists.
Yeah,
giving you commentary about the damage.
I know. And it would be a vibe.
I
The funny thing
want
is
those tapes.
Yeah, the funny thing is the U.S.
That's
government's
my
doing
only
this.
contention. Trump released the goddamn hamster fight tapes.
Yeah, that's
More than Ross.
I mean, I
Let's
don't.
put Ross back in jail.
I don't like any sort of like animal abuse stuff or whatever, but I kind of agree with you on this. I would like to see that.
That would save the economy. Danny, you'd put
The
20
memes.
bucks into that.
Dude, the memes would be crazy.
The memes are endless. Dude, there's already a hamster fight channel, and the guy made fucking millions of dollars off just hamsters play fighting. Imagine them on PCP fighting to the death.
Doing fucking lines of coke and then just like all like just Tony Montana, just coke all over their faces and just
So
fighting each other.
government coke with government scientist commentary in the background, like UFC style, but it's like all scientific and shit, and they're like writing it down.
And it's pure
And they're
coke
like, this
too.
is all on.
No cut in that stuff.
Yeah,
There's no laxatives. That's just pure coke.
Dude, those hamsters must have lived a life for a moment.
Yeah, for sure. They probably didn't hate it. At least the one that won, the final one standing.
Well, the one that won loved it, dude.
Yeah, they did.
That's for sure.
All right, buddy. I gotta let you go. I gotta wrap this thing up. But thank you for calling in.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate you, man. All right, that was the final call of the show. Let's pick some winners. Now the time is come for a little gambling. It's not gambling, YouTube. I'm kidding. Fuck. Probably shouldn't say that. It's not gambling. All right, look at that. You guys see that? I'm sure. Oh, no, that. Now you see it. All right. This is everybody who contributed to Super Chat for tonight. Let me just make sure there's got all of them. That's all of them. All right. So let's pick winner of a 6-month Patreon.com subscription. You'll be once we hit 500 subscribers, one of these people will be eligible to win $500 cash. Can you believe it? And if you don't win and you want to sign up and support the show, $5 a month, patreon.com/lowvaluemail. I'm going to shuffle these names a few times. Here we go. Let's run it. And the winner is... Oh, Dylan Farnham. Dylan Farnham, you have won a 6-month patreon.com membership. And if you already have one, I will extend it an additional 6 months. There you go. Just like that. Sick. And then I'm going to pick one winner right now. Let me remove Dylan Farnham for, what did I say? 50,000, 100,000 Jubear tokens? Whatever I said. I don't remember. But whatever I said, I'll go back in the timestamps and we'll look it up. Whatever it was. We'll just make it 100,000. 100,000 Jubear tokens. You have to have a Solana wallet. You can open one. Just go download Phantom Wallet. Let me shuffle this a few times. Your winner of 100,000 Jubear tokens, currently worth maybe $10 or something. Dominic Hess. Look at that, Dominic Hess. Congratulations, Dominic Hess. Please, you have to message me. Twitter is the best place to DM me. You can message me on Instagram, but they have like 6 different inboxes. It's hard to find. Twitter's the best. If you follow me on Patreon, that's good too. I'm easy to get a hold of. So please hit me up there. Shout out to the winners. And also, if you're watching this, leave a comment below why you should win a 6-month Patreon subscription. And next week, I will pick whoever gets the most likes. What is this one? Screen share? Nope. That's the wrong one. What? How do I close this thing? Oh, there we go. All right, everybody. That's been the show. This has been my Jordan. Producer Mark just wants to say producer Mark's dog Cujo. Shout out to Cujo the dog. We love the dogs. We love dogs on this show. Cats too. We love cats. Love dogs. Dogs are better than cats, obviously. It's a no-brainer. All right, that's been the show. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. Shout out to everybody on Rumble. Shout out to everybody on Twitter. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. I appreciate you all very much. If you won, DM me. Consider signing up for the Patreon, patreon.com/lowvaluemail, MAIL. You can help this show. The Goob says, video exposing Danny scams on my channel. Hit him up. There's no scams. There's 0 scams. I'm literally the only person who's ever made a meme coin with 0 intention of making money. Maybe not the only one, but Probably the only one. I literally bought $10 worth of it. Who knew that it would be worth $5 million minutes later? Not my portion, just the total thing. Anyways, I have to go home. I'm rambling now. I'm about to go get so hopped up on cough meds. Shout out to all of you for joining me. Thank you very much. That's been the show. We'll be back next Monday. Jay Dyer from InfoWars. I'm sure a lot of you know him. He will be joining the show. And we'll be back next week with an all-new episode of The Bathhouse on Tuesday night. Have a lovely rest of your week, everybody. See you soon. Good night. And shout out to producer Mark. Cannot do the show without him. Peace.
I'm really a poet, you know it, all my shit heroic. Empathic abilities, yeah, my face be also stoic. Bleep, blow up, nigga, that just means I'm working. They see me as a leader, so that's why I'm Captain Kirkin. These tracks from the stars, that much is for certain. You can feel this hit if you up or if you hurtin'. I'm raising my stock, not talking my feet in some Birkin. Number Johnny 5, got a fucking short circuit. Bring the track to life when I spit phenomenally. When I hit, she feel that shit in her abdominals. These rappers make me laugh like comic view, they comical. You know I got a ball out, I hit the track running just like Sonic do. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, and they tried to down me up some KO type shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, now we pulling up fresh on some flight shit. Ha. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, then they tried to down me up some KO type shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, now we pulling up fresh on some flight shit. Ha. They don't wanna turn on my